Welcome into Basehor, Kansas for another Bobcat football game here on 810 Varsity Friday nights. My name is Aaron Berlin, joined alongside by my color analyst this evening, Jonas Norman, back for about the first time in 2 weeks, I believe.
Yeah, I'm back. I missed the action, Aaron. I am back. I'm very excited. I got the cat scratch fever going on right now. It's senior night here in Basehor, Kansas. Looking forward to a great game against a solid team in Tonganoxie, coming in struggling a little bit, but either way, you know, when you play a good team like Basehor, you know the team is going to be pumped up.
Again, you mentioned senior night, honoring 22 seniors tonight, a team that's won over 75% of their games, including 3 Call Valley League titles during that time.
Well, this is about as good of a senior class as it gets. Very solid up and down. Of course, it starts with the Murphy twins, who have done just about everything in the career except for win a state title. Of course, we were talking with head coach Steve Hopkins before the game, talking about how they've only won one playoff game in the entire school's history, which is absolutely unbelievable when you think about the run of success they've had these last couple of years. But the senior class is focused, and this is their mission. They at least got to get past that first round. You got to think to make it a successful year.
Yeah, and try not to take opponents lightly. That's one thing they said. They've taken it game by game this year. They thought that maybe last year was an experience issue, or just
matchup problems.
Yeah, matchup problems. Head coach Steve Hopkins said they didn't have the speed to match Sumner. Well, they're hoping they don't get matched up with them again this year, because that would be a nightmare, really.
Well, that's the problem when you come and get into a playoff type atmosphere. It all comes down to matchups. It doesn't matter who the best team is. We see that up and down. It doesn't matter which sport, whether it's soccer, whether it's baseball. It's usually who's the hottest team at the time, and really it comes down to matchups. If you've got a team such as Basehor that's not exactly quick, which we know they have speed, especially with guys like Skylar Ross and Colin Murphy, who can run up and down the field, but they're not very quick. So if you come up against a team like Sumner, who's a very fast team, it's going to create a lot of issues, especially for a powerful team like this Bobcat team.
You talk about hot teams. This Basehor Linwood Bobcat team has been about as hot as they come. They come into this game 7-0, coming off a 42-24 win last week against Jefferson West, a game where Basehor was kind of tied after the first quarter of play and then just blew the doors off in the second quarter. For the Tonganoxie Chieftains, it's been a tale of really 2 games that have been competitive, but not so much of late. They come to this game just 1-6, coming off a 54-7 loss against Perry LeCompton rival. It was a tough game. It was a district game. Perry, one of the hottest teams in this district. Those 2 teams will meet next week against Basehor as well as Perry.
Well, remember, this Tonganoxie team had a lot of turmoil just to start the season, having a little bit of an incident with their former head coach. Now Matt Bond has stepped in, and he's done, an okay job. They're 1-6 right now, so he's not getting wins. But when you start off with that much adversity, it's hard for a team to recover and be successful.
The Chieftains will get the football first as Tyler Ogden comes on to kick it, and his kick is up and away, and it's a line drive kick to the left side part of the field. Taking it to 15, across the 20, down the sideline to the 25, maybe to the 29 before he's pushed out of bounds.
Aaron, I think that might be the best kickoff I've seen, at least this year, out of the Bobcats in terms of kickoffs to begin the game and halftime. Unfortunately, I think that time Ogden may have outkicked his coverage. Decent return that time by the Chieftains, and here comes that triple option offense.
Yeah, a couple times this year we've seen where they've tried to squib it early, but it's gone out of bounds and really been a problem for them. The Basehor defense has played exceptionally well. Tyler Ford will come on to be your quarterback this evening. He replaces Garrett Elston, who is recovering from an injury in last week's game. Ford, the 5'8", 145-pound sophomore, takes a low snap. This one, they lose 1 tackle, and he's hit in the backfield before he ever had a chance to get a couple of yardage. It was a direct snap to number 21, Aaron Davis.
Interesting play right there. It looked like they tried to catch the Bobcats off guard to begin the game. Not your standard formation. Everybody was shifted over to the left side, just one wide receiver over to the right. And you said it, Davis took the snap, and the Bobcats were just not fooled on that play.
So it'll be 2nd and 10, ball to 28-yard line here on the Chieftain 28.
Again with this weird formation, Aaron.
3 receivers set to the near side. Low snap. They're going to option at one time. Now they're going to throw middle of the field. Almost picked off. Incomplete pass right at the 24-yard line. Sean Levy was the man who took the hit by Ben Johnson. He was trying to cross the 40.
What they're doing here, they put Davis in that sort of quote-unquote quarterback position, but in fact, they actually had Ford standing right next to him, so all Davis did was take the snap, pitch it off to Ford, and now you've got the quarterback wide open with a little bit of time to make the throw. Good job by the Bobcat defense, again, not being confused, staying disciplined, and I think what's happening here, since Elston is not playing in this game due to his concussion, we're going to see the Chieftains again go to this weird formation and try to catch this Bobcats team off guard.
Noah Pueblo is about 5 yards deep behind the senior. Snap, low snap, now going to throw far side. It bobbled and is almost dropped. Fumble, ball on the ground. Bobcats come up with it now, march the 3 yards into the end zone for a Bobcat touchdown.
I think we just saw a case of the Chieftains maybe trying to outsmart themselves. You're putting kids in situations you're just not used to. That time they did actually have Ford lined up as the quarterback. He threw it out wide. Players are just not used to what's going on. That's what happens when your usual quarterback goes down and you've got kids all over the place. Easy touchdown, fumble recovery right there. I believe the throw even could have been considered a fumble as well, a backwards lateral. Already 50 seconds of the game, Bobcats already up 6-0.
It's the first time all year we've seen the defense score before the offensive unit. That brings out Colin Murray for the 2-point conversion try. It's going to be a high fade route over to Ryan Murphy. It's going to be tipped and go incomplete pass. So they'll leave 6 up on the board for the Bobcats. 11-10 left to go. First quarter of play. They lead this one 6-0 here on the home for high school sports, 810varsity.com.
And already the Chieftains all out of sorts. They've lost their starting quarterback. When you lose a guy like Elston, you're losing about 80% of your offense. The guy led the team in passing, of course, but they don't even pass it that much, only coming into this game with 257 yards passing. But he's also one of their most effective rushers as well. Elston had 73 rushes on the season. You go for 275 yards. You put that alongside with Lingo, who's got 414 yards, and you're missing a huge chunk of offense.
There was a flag on the initial play. Colin Murphy runs it in for the 3-yard scamper to complete the 2-point conversion, so I spoke a little too soon. So 11-10 left to go, 8-0 score for the Bobcats before we've gotten to see that high-power offense that's averaging around 45 points per game, and it's really been the Basehor Linwood Express, if you want to call it that.
Oh yeah, it's an offense that's been absolutely unstoppable thus far in this game. They've only struggled one game, you could really say, against Turner at Turner, a game in which the Golden Bears played a very good game, very competitive. It was kind of adverse conditions, it was kind of chilly that night, but they were able to plow their way through, get that win. And every other game, though, Basehor's just put up huge numbers offensively.
Again, welcome into Keister Field here on the campus of Basehor High School for senior night, a night where they are honoring 22 seniors that have won 75% of their games, including 3 consecutive Call Valley League titles. It's going to be a high end-over-end kick, and it's going to bounce out of bounds at about the 5-yard line. Good, strong kick by Tyler Ogden, but we are going to see a hanky on the field after it bounces out of bounds.
Yeah, illegal formation right there, but as Tonganoxie comes back onto the field, you got to wonder, what are they going to be doing offensively this time? Will they go with the, I don't even know what to call it, that formation.
It's kind of a formation where they throw all their linemen to the left side and they have a couple of running backs directly behind them. But they leave No Pueblo, the leading rusher on this team, about 5 yards deep behind the center. So they're going to start the ball with about the 35-yard line between the left and right hash mark. About, you want to call it 10 yards away from the nose of the Bobcat, that midfield. A little more traditional formation here for the Chieftains. 2-3 set back, handoff will go left side. Going to keep it, runs full set, center, maybe gets a gain a yard before the Bobcat defense swallowed them up.
Although it wasn't extremely standard formation, it's certainly something you're more likely to see than what they were throwing out there on that first drive, but still, I don't think they're going to trust Ford at all throwing the ball right now. You're going to see a lot of runs. It's going to be very important for that front seven of this Bobcats defense to stay disciplined and make the tackle, because I don't think they're going to have to worry about the throw too much.
So the Bobcats going to show 4 down linemen with 1 blitzing and Ben Johnson. They said they're going to move their outside linebackers. High snap, handoff goes middle of the field, and he's quickly wrapped up and brought down. Maybe gets a gain of 2 on the fall down.
We say high snap, that's not really saying much. Ford is only standing in there at 5'8", 145, probably on a good day, especially wearing all those pads. So it's going to be important for every player on this Tonganoxie offense to get their job done, and that starts with the center and making sure it's a very good snap.
So 10:22 left to go, first quarter of play, 3rd and 6. They need to get to the 45-yard line for the first down. 3 set back once again with Tyler Ford. High snap once again. He's going to keep it. Rolls out far side. Going to throw incomplete pass as the intended receiver was right at about the 40-yard line. He threw him just threw him high.
I mean, Ford came into this game with only 5 pass attempts on the season in their first 7 games. So what are you expecting? You ask a kid to go out there, throw it 3rd down and 6 with a Bobcats defense with their pinning their ears back coming right at you. You're going to get most of the time a throw just like that, so basically in the direction of nobody.
Punt formation once again. Skylar Ross as well as Tanner Garber back deep. Ross about 5 yards deeper than Garber. High end over end kick. Skylar Ross going to wave it off and is going to let it bounce, but it hits off a Bobcat defender's head. Try and get the name for you on that one.
There is a flag on the play. I'm not sure exactly what it could be. It could be the fact that a Tongi player may have gotten into the zone of Skylar Ross as he was maybe going to make that catch, but I'm not exactly sure what the flag will be.
They hit off Corey McClear's head and kind of bounced 5 yards to the left side. Nonetheless, it'll be Bobcat possessions. We'll see the offense come out for the first time in a rare situation where they come out with an 8-point lead. This is the first time all year that the defense has scored before the offense. Not that the defense hasn't been effective as well.
I guess there wasn't a flag out there, pardon me. Just a regular standard situation here at the 20-yard line.
So Murphy will go under center, pitch right side, going to cut back near side, trying to get a full head of steam up the middle, maybe gets to the 30-yard line, but I think they're going to mark it dead at the 28.
Good job by Drew Potter right there on his senior day. Already you see Bobcats trying to see what they can get out of the left side of that line. Maybe they've spotted a weak spot on the right side of the defensive line for the Chieftains, but Drew Potter, running very hard to start this game.
2nd and 1, shotgun formation. Murphy will keep it right side, gets the first down, and then in the secondary, still on his feet, breaks another tackle, and then trips up right at the 40-yard line and busts his way to the 42.
How about that run by Colin Murphy? Just keeping those legs going, dragging defenders with him all the way down, beating his average of 5.23 yards per rush right there. First down and then some for Colin Murphy.
It'll go for a Bobcat first down, so it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the Bobcat 41-yard line, trying to get in the Chieftain territory. Shotgun formation, Murphy's going to throw, fade route down the line. He has Ryan Murphy, and he jumps up, and he catches it. Reception, completed pass for the Bobcats. Murphy down, still on his feet across the 15, and down at the 14-yard line.
Boy, these Chieftains right now are having a tough time making tackles because that's the second play in a row we've seen a Murphy drag a couple of Tonganoxie players with him for about 5 to 7 yards. Tonganoxie better get their tackling down or else this is going to be a very quick ball game for them.
Murphy had time in the pocket to stand back and throw to his favorite receiver and his brother, Ryan Murphy.
They got that bond between them.
Shotgun formation once again. Quarterback keeper Murphy, left side. Cross it, finds a crease ahead to the 5 and down at the 3-yard line on the quarterback keeper by Colin Murphy.
Yeah, you just look at the Tonganoxie defense. They just look undersized right now. They're just getting bossed around by the offensive line of Basehor Linwood.
And how about this? We're going to see Jesse Hiss come in. Head coach Steve Hopkins told us we were only going to see him if it was a goal line situation. He tore a tendon in his leg against Mill Valley. He's just wanted to get out on the field ever since. We're going to see him here in a goal line set.
Interestingly enough, he's playing the fullback position right now.
Strong I formation set. Handoff Potter. Potter works his way across. Did he get in? I think he might be just a yard shy of the initial goal line.
I made the point of saying it's interesting that he's playing the fullback position. Usually when you're in that fullback, that means you're going to get in there, get your nose a little dirty, and go make a hit. So that shows that Jesse Hiss is feeling a little bit better. And I was watching him in pregame warmups, and he looked to be, you know what, all right.
Coach Hopkins says he loves to be the lead blocker. Jesse Hiss will take it. He rumbles and bumbles for a Bobcat touchdown. So how about that? 1 possession, 2 scores for the Bobcats. 14-0 your score here at Keister Field. First quarter of play still. 8:23 left to go. So the Bobcat special team units will come out here. We'll see Garrett Cayley, who is also a senior this year, a guy who is yet to, I think he's only missed 1 or 2 extra point opportunities this year. He's been about as efficient as a kicker as you can ask for at the 4A level, and they will certainly be sad to say goodbye to him. Cayley's kick, it's a high one, high end over end, and it goes right through the middle of the uprights. So put another point up on the board for the Bobcats. They lead this one 15-0 over the visiting Tonganoxie Chieftains. Let's pause a quick second for station identification. This is Basehor Linwood football on the home for high school sports, 810varsity.com. And back to the action with Aaron Berlin and Jonas Nordman. Welcome back here to 810varsity.com, your home for Basehor Linwood Bobcat football. Bobcats strike first and they strike often. They lead this one 15-0 here still in the first quarter of play. It was really the Ryan Murphy show on that one.
Yeah, absolutely. They gave the ball to Ryan Murphy, and to Colin Murphy, I was going to say, and said, go make a play for us. But yeah, the long throw to Ryan Murphy, dragging players with him down to about the 10-yard line. But I was really impressed by what Colin Murphy did, controlling the game in every aspect, running and passing.
3 back deep for the Chieftains. This one is a high one up by Ogden, taken in the middle across the 10. Rumbles and bumbles to the 15. Still on his feet across the 20. Left side up to the 30-yard line where he falls forward to the 31.
Aaron, we've talked about it a couple times that there is a weakness on this Bobcat team. We just learned today that it may be quickness, but also special teams. They're just not that great right now, especially on these kickoffs. And apparently kickoff coverage, they really need to get that stapled down as they head into the playoffs.
Well, they're going to start this drive right on the 30-yard line. They come out for their 3rd possession of the day, and they have yet to gain a first down. 3 back deep behind the quarterback and Tyler Ford for the Chieftains. Ford, the sophomore. Pitch going to go right side ahead. Cuts back. Now trying to get back to the corner ahead to the 33, maybe to the 34-yard line.
I believe
is Derek Lingo.
I believe those may be the first yards gained in the first 3 possessions for the Chieftains. They've just not been effective at all. They haven't been very efficient either, just trying to find their way without their starting quarterback, Elston.
Lingo at 5'11", 180. Tonganoxie with a very proud football tradition. They're usually one of the better teams in this league, having a down year after they lost their coach before the first game ever started. 3 back deep, 2 to each, or 1 to each side of Tyler Ford. Belt high snap, going to look, now going to throw far side. Has a receiver in the middle. It's going to be picked off by Tanner Garber at the 50. Garber across the 40 to the 35, still on his feet across the 20. He might run for days, and he's pushed out of bounds at the 11-yard line. Tanner Garber with the 41-yard reception.
Who was that throw even to? It looked like it was going to Tanner Garver right there. Little wobbly, good defense right there by the Bobcats. Not even getting any pressure right there on forward. He just threw it right to Tanner Garver.
Second turnover for the day on the Chieftains' part. It puts the Bobcat offense in good position once again. You know, they would have loved nothing more than to pick up a win here in the second round of district play, because pretty much if you go to 2-0, you got a good chance of going to the Kansas 4A state playoffs.
A second interception on the year for Tanner Garver. Well, I'll wait a second.
Belt high snap from Murphy. Fade route into the end zone. Jumps up, and it's almost intercepted in the end zone.
Wow. Great job by the
Derek
DB right
Lingo
there.
on the reception. He was guarding Ryan Murphy, and Colin kind of threw it up there and hoped that maybe Ryan would do his thing where he just hops up and catches it.
Yeah, and you saw it there. I was about to make a point about how the Bobcats are a ball hawking secondary, but good job right there by Derek Lingo. He actually let Murphy make the catch, then reached up, took it right away from Ryan Murphy, and that's no easy deal. Ryan Murphy's a big, strong guy. Great job, I should say, by Derek Lingo.
So the Chieftains will come out backed up almost into the end zone. They're going to start at the 2-yard line. Is the young sophomore and Tyler Ford. He goes under center for the first time today. 2 tight end set for the Chieftains. Ford, quarterback keeper, runs and maybe gets a yard out of it here with 7 minutes and 15 seconds left to go. First quarter of play.
This is a very dangerous situation if you're an offense trying to find its identity without your usual starting quarterback, because right now the Bobcat defense is being able to do whatever they want right now. 2
of their 3 possessions have gone for turnovers in the form of a fumble and an interception as well. Tanner Garber with his 2nd interception of the year. And Colin Murphy actually picks up his 3rd interception of the year. So everyone getting an extra tally to their stat line here today. Ford goes under center, 2 tight end set, pulls a man in motion, handoff left side, ahead, still on his feet, finds a crease and maybe works away across the 10. Needed to get to the 12-yard line for the first down, so he will be about 2 yards short, and will bring up about 3rd and 2.
One of the storylines of this game would be how is Jesse Hiss going to perform. He has the touchdown, but when we were talking to Steve Hopkins before the game, he said perhaps his greatest impact is on the defensive side, and he is now entering the game at that linebacker position to see if he can control the middle of the field right now and get this 3rd down stop.
Head coach Steve Hopkins says he just loves to be out there and hit, whether it's on the receiving or giving end. He just loves to be out there in a football uniform. Shotgun formation, 3 back deep for the Chieftains. They send a man in motion, and we might have a defensive offsides penalty on the Bobcats, and that would give the Chieftains enough for their first down of the day.
Yeah, they're walking this one forward. This will go against the Bobcats. And as you said, first down, and they get it via penalty.
So with 6:07 left to go, first quarter of play, Chieftains almost pick up their first down of the day, and that's a big one here in 3 possessions. 3 backs deep for the Chieftains. High snap for Ford. Handoff left side, trying to get to the corner. Across the 10, maybe to the 15, and falls forward to the 17-yard line.
Right now, it would appear as if the game plan for the Chieftains is to get Derek Lingo as involved as much as possible, because he is their go-to guy. As we said, he is the leading rusher on the year. They give the ball to him more than anyone else that not named Elston. So look for Derek Lingo to get a lot of touches in this ballgame.
Lingo at just 5'11", 180 pounds, has taken the majority of the carries here in the early going for the Chieftains. 5 down linemen for Basehor as they try to complement that run of the Chieftains. High snap for Ford once again, taken near side, gives a stiff arm across the 15 to the 25, and then falls forward to the 27-yard line. Big run by Julius Coates, the junior.
Well, there's certainly, it would appear as if they've given up on the passing game right now. Why not? Right now, the offensive line for the Chieftains is doing a great job of moving the D-line of Basehor Linwood, and it's going to be up to the Basehor defense to recover now and make adjustments themselves to stop this running attack. I would say to stack the box, put 8 men in that box, and trust that your DBs can handle the pass.
Three backs once again. High snap as coach takes this one. Handoff left side is Lingo. And maybe got a yard if he even got back to the line of scrimmage. So it'll bring up a 2nd and 10 with under 4 minutes and 50 seconds left to go. First quarter of play. Bobcats in the lead on this one. They lead at 15-0 after 2 scores. One off of a interception, another one off of, or not an interception, a fumble recovery that went for a touchdown, and then a Colin Murphy 2-point conversion. And then I believe we had a Colin Murphy run for a touchdown as well.
It was Jesse Hiss.
Jesse Hiss. There we go. Handoff left side as Ford keeps it. Rumbles and bumbles across the 30, maybe to the 32, as he had a full head of steam right up the middle.
Again, now it's a 3rd down, and not long necessary for any other team, but for this Tonganoxie team, it is a somewhat very long distance, very important. If I was the Bobcat defense right now, I would bring the blitz, force the issue a little bit on this Tonganoxie offense.
So it'll be 3rd and 6, ball on the Chieftain 31-yard line. They need to get to the 38 for a first down. Let's see what they can do here. 5 down linemen for the Bobcats, 2 deep safeties. 3 banks deep for the Chieftains. Belt high snap for Ford. Ford keeps it himself, rumbles up the middle across the 35 and falls forward to the 39-yard line. He might be just short of the first down marker.
No, they gave it to him.
They gave it to him, and they will move the chains forward.
Just barely enough. Right now, Ford is putting on a pretty good performance, at least with his feet, showing a lot of heart. He's taken a lot of hits thus far. But that's going to be important for him to do that.
Ford replacing Garrett Elson as the starting for today's game, who is out with an injury that occurred in last week's game. 5 down linemen, 4 defense, or 4 cornerbacks, or 4 linebackers for the Bobcats, as we have a penalty on the field. I believe it's an offsides penalty on the offensive line. False start on the offense right there. It'll back him up 5 yards, and we'll do first down once again. So it'll be 1st and 15. The ball will be right at about the 29-yard line. Correction, the 34-yard line. They need to get to the 49 for a first down. Same formation, high snap to Coates. Coates hitting the backfield, still moving forward. Maybe got back to the line of scrimmage, and they will mark it forward progress.
Again, they have basically given up on the passing game, and I believe that penalty may turn out to be a bit of a stopper. That may be the best defender right now for Basehor Linwood. If you get into a 1st and 15, 2nd and 14 now, I know you still have downs to work with, but they just don't have an offense built around picking up huge chunks of yardage right now. So I think that could be a huge key in this drive, or what ends up ending this drive.
So 4 down linemen this time. They're going to blitz 1 for the Bobcats. They send a man in motion for the Chieftains. Handoff to be quarterback keeper up the middle as number 15 and Tyler Zinzer takes the handoff. Be just short of the initial line of scrimmage. If you're just now joining us here on 810varsity.com, we welcome you to the 2nd round of district play for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. They won last week against Jefferson West, trying to pick up that ever-important 2nd district win this week. They lead currently 15-0 here with 2 minutes, 15 seconds left to go, first quarter of play. 3 back deep, split receivers to each side for the Chieftains. Fake handoff, Ford going to roll, going to throw far side, has a receiver across the 40 to the 45 and falls forward to the 47-yard line, just shy of the first down marker.
And Chieftains want to get moving. It looks like they perhaps will be going for on 4th down. Good job right there by this Tonganoxie offense to pick up a huge chunk of yardage and make this a very interesting 4th down. And I don't see a punt unit coming out at all. I believe they will be going on this 4th and very long 3.
Fans chanting defense. They want to see a big defensive stand by their Bobcats right here. 4th and 3 for the Chieftains. Big down right here with 1:43. And we're going to have a timeout on the field, as I think they're going to credit it to Basehor. Tonganoxie takes the timeout. You got better eyes than I do, Jonas.
I do. Well, I wear glasses, so that's why I wear them.
Well, I'm starting to lose my eyesight. It's a sad thing, but it seems to always happen.
Well, you're getting older. That's what happens.
At 22 years of age, you know, it's just when it does it in for you.
Yeah, I mean, you might as well just retire now.
Again, my name is Aaron Berlin, joined alongside by a good friend of my broadcasting partner, Jonas Nordman, here today. Ladies and gentlemen, the weather may be cooling down, but you can still keep a hot tan. Stop at the Bass Tanning anytime and keep that glow all year long. Bass Tanning right across from Sonic on 40 Highway, 724-2288. Where the beds are cool and the tans are hot. Kansas City Command season tickets for the 2012 Arena Football League season at Sprint Center are on sale now. Call 855-KC Arena to get your tickets today. Bobcats break the huddle, and the defense they'll send the defense back out on the field. They got a big task ahead of them. They're on a 4th down by Tonganoxie as they elect to go for it. 3 back deep is Julius Coates is the far back deep for the Chieftains. Bobcats almost go off sides, and there's the hanky right there, as that'll give an automatic 1st down for the Chieftains.
Well, I was just talking about a moment ago how I thought the penalty might end up bogging down Tonganoxie. In fact, is going to be a penalty now that is going to aid them and help them pick up this 1st down. They've only been able to pick up 1st downs via the penalty. I believe they only have 1 other 1st down by getting it by an actual football play. 2 1st downs via penalty, 1 via actual football play. That whatever works, I guess.
And it's going to move them into Bobcat territory for the first time here today. Here we go, 3 back deep for the Chieftains. Handoff will go Coates, near side. Coates trying to break a tackle, and it's going to take 5 Basehor Linwood Bobcats to stop him before forward progress was met. He is swarmed in the backfield every time he gets the ball.
That's what you need, especially with the defense facing a running offense. You need gang tackling, getting a lot of hats to the ball, and great job at that time by the boys in green making that group tackle.
So it'll officially go for a gain of 1 yard. 2nd and 9 on the 48-yard line of the Bobcats. Chieftains trying to keep the chains moving. They've gotten a couple of 1st downs on this drive. They picked up their first one right at the 10-yard line, and they haven't stopped since. 3 backs deep once again, 2 to each side for Tyler Ford. Belt high snap for Ford, or he's going to throw it. And he's going to go incomplete pass after the fake handoff, as the intended receiver was Brett Shelton, a 5'10", 175-pound junior.
Let me tell you, the defenders right now for the Bobcats, they bit pretty darn hard on that play-action fake, because he was wide open right down the middle of the field. If it took even a halfway decent throw, that might be a touchdown for Tonganoxie.
So it'll bring up 3rd and 9. They need to get to the 39-yard line for the 1st down. Big 3rd down right here for the Chieftains if they want to keep this drive going. As Tyler Ford trying to figure everyone out. Here's Julius Coates right to his left. He's got a 1 tight end set. Sends a man in motion. Top of your screen. Ford rolls out. Rush in the backfield, and a big sack by Drew Potter. And almost the ball popped out at the very end, but they're going to rule him down. Drew Potter came from the left side, and no one was able to block him.
Very emphatic sack right there by Drew Potter, using all of his size advantage right there just to whip down Ford to the ground. Good stand right there by the Bobcats. That was a pretty extended drive right there from Tonganoxie, about as long as they may get all game long, but they held their own. And I know this high-powered Bobcat offense that we've talked about so much is getting the ball right back and should have decent field position.
Drew Potter and Ben Johnson, 2 of the big important juniors from this Bobcat team. Clean punt up and away as Skylar Ross will let it bounce. They'll take a Tonganoxie bouncer. He fields it at the 20, across the 30, still on his feet, up to the 34-yard line. And that's where the Bobcat offense will start once again. They lead this one 15-0 here with just 17 ticks left to go in the 1st quarter of play. Nick and Jake's Real Food on its drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com, located in Parkville in the Parkville Commons and in Overland Park on 135th Street. Or visit them online at nickandjakes.com. 15-0. Basehor, they start this drive right at about the 33-yard line. On 33, trying to get into Chieftains territory. Fake handoff, it'll go Tanner Garber near side. Garber into the secondary, up to the 40, and down at the 41-yard line. Good run by Tanner Garber.
A little trickeration right there from the Bobcats, but they're usually a pretty standard offense team. Just drop back and throw the long bomb, or just go straight I formation, run the ball. But that time they must have seen something along the edge where they could have got Tanner Garber on that reverse. Didn't get them a huge number of yards, but makes it a very manageable 2nd down and 3 as we head into the 2nd quarter, actually.
Into the 1st quarter, your score 15-0 in favor of the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. They lead Tonganoxie here in round 2 of district play. Let's pause a quick second for station identification. This is Basehor Linwood football on the home for high school sports, 810varsity.com. And back to the action with Aaron Berlin and Jonas Nordman. Start of the 2nd quarter of play. Basehor on top, 15-0. They're in their home green uniforms or green pants and a green helmet with a yellow Bobcat on the side. For the visiting Tonganoxie Chieftains, 1-6. They are in their road white uniforms with white pants, a red trim along the side with kind of a slanted font with red and white around the numbers.
That guy on the ID sounded really familiar, Aaron.
Well, you know, when it's a low budget, when you're on the budget, you kind of have to do your own voiceovers. But the fact of the matter is we're trying for the listeners at home, even if it does sound a little cheesy.
Are you saying you couldn't get the guy from like the movie trailers and stuff like that?
I couldn't get Kevin Harlan. Kevin Harlan would not
that would've been
do a
quite
voiceover
guess.
for me.
Yes.
Even though he's a KU grad, we went to the same school. He's not down for doing an ID for me.
He's too busy doing nationally televised football games, Aaron.
Shotgun formation. Ross goes in motion. Fake handoff. Murphy keeps it. Rolls out near side. Gonna throw. Tipped. Pass and intercepted. Second interception of the day, and he's dragged down at the 34-yard line. Correction, the 36-yard line.
Aaron, this just goes back to a theme I've been talking about all season long. I kind of sound like a broken record, and I'd probably hate myself for saying it so much. But Colin Murphy's not that great at throwing on the run. That's another time he had Ben Johnson wide open in the middle of the field. Instead, I'm not even sure. Must have gotten tipped at the line or somewhere along there, but he's just not that accurate. He needs to set his feet and make that throw, or else this Bobcat offense actually gets a lot worse.
Trying to make the glory throw, if you want to call it. 11:53 is where the Chieftains start this drive. 10 yards out, Bobcat territory. They can sniff it. Pitch handoff near side, snuffed out. It's going to be maybe get back to the line of scrimmage. Let's go for a loss of 1 yard as he fought to get back to the 41-yard line.
It's getting to be a physical game right now. Lingo comes up hobbling a little bit. He just threw down a defender with a vicious stiff arm. We've seen both Murphys throw down some stiff arms of their own. Things are starting to get a little chippy in this 15-0 ball game.
Second and 11, ball 39-yard line for the Chieftains. So go for a loss of 1 yard. I thought it maybe looked for a loss of 2 or 3 after it was hit, but I guess they kind of gave him the forward progress.
Well, that was nice of the refs. I think they got it right.
So second and 11 right here as Tyler Ford comes out to lead the troops. Everybody up on the line for the Bobcats this time. Handoff backfield. Lingo angles left side, trying to get something. Ball on the ground, and it might have been recovered by Basehor.
Still no official. Oh, there it is.
And it'll be
officially Bobcat football.
It'll be a turnover for the Chieftains, their third one of the day. This has been a turnover frenzy game here on senior night. As maybe some mixed emotions from both sides of the field. You know, it could be potentially their last home game. A win would certainly help give them a home game in the 4A Kansas State playoff bracket.
I think the turnovers, though, for both teams have been sort of different. I think we have seen some sloppy play out of Tonganoxie, and I'll finish this point after this next play.
So let's see, shotgun formation. Ross to his left side. Pitch will be a quarterback keeper as Murphy takes it across the 40, maybe to the 36-yard line. You know, but nonetheless, good yardage on 1st and 10.
And just to quickly finish up the point, I believe the Tonganoxie has been very sloppy with the football. We saw the bad interception. They've given up the ball just on some bad fumbles right there. I think the turnovers for Basehor Linwood have been more mental. We saw Ryan Murphy actually make the catch, then just get it taken away. And then Colin Murphy on that last interception just make a bad throw. So I think all turnovers are created equal, but I think there's definitely a difference between these two teams.
Murphy trying to get past the corner. Flag in the backfield, still on his feet across the 25 to the 20 before he's pushed out of bounds. But there is a flag in the backfield and maybe a hold on a block.
Definitely in the area of a hold for sure, but you never know until that final call.
So it'll be 11-17 left to go, second quarter of play. Bobcats on top, 15-0 over the visiting Tonganoxie Chieftains here at beautiful Keister Field. We're a little worried about the sun, which actually rises in the west and looks directly at us.
I believe it sets in the west.
Sets in the west. Sets in the west. I'm getting everything mixed up here today.
You're not a geography major. It's okay.
Nonetheless, it sets in the west, and at the beginning of the year, it's a little hard to see the field, especially through the first and second quarters of play because you have the sun setting right in front of you.
Yep.
But it does make for a beautiful sunset on these later games.
Oh, yeah. Great atmosphere. I thought we were going to be freezing tonight, but it's actually a little bit warm, to tell you the truth.
All right, shotgun formation for the Bobcats as they split two receivers out to each side of Murphy. Murphy, three-step drop, going to throw Tanner Garber. Screen pass across the 50 into Chieftain territory, across the feet and into the secondary, across the 30 and down at the 15-yard line is Tanner Garber.
In fact, I believe that may have been, Dalton Mellies, and those are the plays they run for Dalton Mellies, getting those screen passes and letting him run. Tonganoxie did not recognize right away. Both defensive linemen went straight in there thinking they had a free shot at Colin Murphy, but Mellies had slipped out, made the catch, and we've seen it time and time again this season. That is now his fourth catch and just bumbling down the field.
Drew Potter to the left of Colin Murphy serves as a blocker. Murphy runs across the 10, maybe to the 8-yard line. Good quarterback keeper on 1st and 10. They need to get to about the 4-yard line for another set of downs. Brought down by Julius Coates. Coates has made a name for himself so far in this one, as he has served as really the lead rusher for the Chieftains as well as the lead tackler. 10:38 left to go, second quarter, 2nd and 7. High fake snap as it's going to be Dalton Neely's across the 10 and down at the 5-yard line, just shy of the first down marker.
And I think this is going straight to what head coach Steve Hopkins was saying. They're not quite on the goal line yet, so they don't want to put Jesse Hiss in there. And right now their offense is bogged down a little bit. They don't know whether they should go with Drew Potter. They don't know if they should go with Dalton Mellies, who's not exactly a running back. So they're just a little bit too far, and they're clearly saving him for the defensive side of the ball.
So 3rd and 6, handoff will go Potter, straight front and center, falls down, has the first down, and maybe down at the 1-yard line. Had a full head of steam on that one, but it will move the chains. So it'll be a Bobcat first down right at the 1-yard line. And Drew Potter is a force to be reckoned with when he gets that ball.
And they are basically kissing the goal right now. They're going with the Mellies and Potter combination still.
The quarterback keeper Murphy falls forward, reaches in with the right hand, and a touchdown, Bobcats. They now lead this one 21-0 on the strength of 3 early touchdowns in the first half of play.
Well, it always helps when your quarterback stands in there about 6'3" and weighs a ton as well. Murphy just leaned over, reached that ball over, easy touchdown that time. We were talking about what do they do with the running backs? Well, your quarterback is basically a running back, so good call right there by Basehor Linwood. Now they got themselves another pretty comfortable lead heading into the meat of the second quarter.
So a 9:49 left to go in the second quarter. Bobcats lead it by 21 points now here on your home for Bobcat Athletics, 810varsity.com. Zach Hebel will be the holder. It'll be a fake. Hebel rolls out near side, gonna throw, and it's just tipped and out of bounds for the Bobcats. Play was intended for Justin Summers as he reached up with that big claw of a left hand to try and pull it down.
Gutsy call right there by the Basehor Linwood coaching staff. Hey, we got 21-0 advantage. Why not try it out a little bit as we head into the playoffs?
So we're going to see the Chieftains special teams unit come out once again, and we've gotten pretty familiar with them here in just the first half.
Yeah, that's generally what happens when they're going up against Basehor Linwood. A lot of points early. And you know what? It's been good to see the fact that the Bobcats have actually started off pretty hot right now, offensively and defensively. Now, it should be mentioned that the defensive side of the ball for the Bobcats has had a little bit of an easier time going up against an offense that's all out of sorts right now for the Chieftains. But you and I have talked about it a little bit, and with head coach Steve Hopkins, how this offense gets off those slow starts, but so far so good.
Noah Puebla and Tyler Ford are back deep for the Chieftains. Taken by Ford at the 20. Runs full head of steam across the 25, straight right in middle, and maybe gets to the 34-yard line. You're right, Jonas. Everybody is pushing and shoving down there trying to figure something as Jake Phillips was in on the tackle.
Jake Phillips on the tackle.
So to bring out the Chieftain offense, who still has a big goose egg up on the scoreboard right now. They're going to try and correct that here on this drive. They've had 3 turnovers that have really led to this game getting out of hand early and often. They had 2 interceptions and 1 fumble that came on the 3rd play of the series. Shotgun formation. Lingo goes in motion once again. Handoff right up center. Ahead maybe to the 43-yard line. Good yardage on 1st and 10.
You know, I actually have been, I do like the play calls that Tonganoxie is making. It's not a bad job by the coaching staff. I just think Basehor Linwood is just out-muscling them and out-talenting Tonganoxie right now. I just don't think Tonganoxie has a clear path offensively without their usual starting quarterback, Garrett Elfson.
They look a little lost right now, but Tyler Ford has done a pretty good job replacing him. Some of the passes have just skied high. 9:16 left to go, 2nd and 6. Ball right at the 42-yard line of the Chieftains. Handoff will go front and center across the 37, maybe to the 39-yard line. It'll be still short of a first down marker as Shane Levy was in on the carry.
Full ball carry, Shane Levi.
So it'll bring up about 3rd and 4. Ball at the 42-yard line for the Chieftains. Manageable 3rd down, but you'd like it to be a little bit shorter.
Absolutely, but it hurts when you don't have a passing game right now because it makes your offense one-dimensional. We've already talked about how the defensive line for this Basehor Linwood team, when they know what's coming, it can be a very dangerous weapon.
Lingo goes in motion. Pitch to Lingo. Once again across the 40. Has enough for the first down and falls forward to the 49-yard line. Good run by Derek Lingo.
And I was about to make a point. We really have not seen any instance of the triple option, which is what we were expecting all game long out of this Tonganoxie offense. Right there, perfect example. Fake handoff right there to the fullback, and then it was just Ford as well as Lingo, and good decision made that time by Ford, and Lingo able to pick up the first down pretty easily. Beautiful execution of the triple option.
3 backs deep once again. Coates goes in motion. Handoff Lingo front and center across the 50 into Basehor territory and falls forward to the 42-yard line, just shy of the first down marker.
Riley Trowbridge on the tackle.
Riley Trowbridge was in on the tackle for the Bobcats as Jesse Hiss will come in on the defensive side of the ball now.
And right now, that triple option is starting to pick up a little bit of momentum, and this Bobcat defense looks a little bit confused. They don't exactly know where to go to the ball.
Triple option set once again. Ford wants to throw as a receiver near side. It's batted down, ball up in the air, and it falls down for an incomplete pass. Man, that one could have been scary for the Chieftains.
Very dangerous situation right there for Tonganoxie. Just falling harmlessly to the ground. I don't think anyone on the Basehor Linwood defense knew exactly where the ball was. Otherwise, that had potential for pick 6.
7:49 left to go. Second quarter of play. 3rd and 2. They got 8 yards on the 1st and 10 opportunity by Shane Levi, who really had a full head of steam on that one. 3rd and 2. Ball at the Bobcat 44-yard line. Trying to move forward to the Chieftains. Tyler Ford comes out. Shotgun formation. Coach goes in motion. Handoff Levi right up the middle, and he's stuffed and sniffed down by the Bobcat defense. He'll be shy of the first down marker if he didn't lose a yard.
Great time that time, or great job that time by Riley Trowbridge in his senior night, really stopping that play before they were able to get any momentum going. And again, it looks as if this Tonganoxie Chieftain team will be going for it at 4th and 2. Why not? If you don't get it, it's, I mean, not a horrible situation in terms of field position for the offense of Basehor Linwood.
So they're going to stay out there for a 4th and 2 opportunity. Ball 44-yard line. See what Basehor shows defensively. They're going to put four guys up on the line. They're going to have their outside linebacker far to the left side. Lingo goes in motion, and the play is going to be blown dead before it ever had a chance to get started. We have a timeout, Tonganoxie. Bobcat fans, check out the game night special from Simple Simons. Free medium one-topping pizza with a purchase of a large specialty. Yes, a free medium pizza from Simple Simons with a large specialty. Carry out only. Special only good on Bobcat football game nights. Call 913-724-4141 and place your order now, or visit us at BaseHorSimpleSimons.com. Play Kansas City's most popular 4-man scramble, over 7,800 yards. It's the Monster Mash at Dubs Dread October 7th. Call Dubs Dread Golf Club at 913-324-5005 or visit them online at dubsdreadgolfclub.com.
How's your golf game, Aaron?
My golf game's about as bad as they come. You know, I took golfing lessons when I was 10 or 11 years old. It was something I kind of did in the summer.
Never really
in between
translated.
school years, and you know, the furthest I could hit the ball was about 15 yards.
Wow.
Needless to say, no one was recruiting me for the high school team, or I wasn't a prodigy or anything like that. 4th and 2, everybody up on the line for the Bobcats, trying to prevent a running game. Handoff, or it'll be a throw. He's going to throw, middle of the field. Completed pass, enough for the first down, and down at the 35-yard line. Derek Lingo was in on the reception.
Great catch right there by Lingo. In fact, I was a little worried that Tanner Garver might have gotten flagged for a pass interference on the play. He got there pretty darn early, but great catch by Lingo, and now there is a player on the ground for the Tonganoxie Chieftains.
It's actually Derek Lingo, so the man who makes the pass. It looks like he might have turned an angle as he tried to get up for a little bit. Mark Padfield, the trainer for the Chieftains, will come out to take a look at it. This is certainly a situation where you never wish this on anyone. You never wish anyone got hurt, but it's unfortunate. This is what happens in the game of football.
Well, in a perfect world, let's be honest, there isn't football. It's a very violent game, and, well, this is what happens.
7:01 left to go, second quarter. Bobcats on top, 21-0, but the Chieftains are threatening after that first down by Derek Lingo as he was crossing the 35-yard line.
He does not look good. He's not putting any weight on that right ankle or that right leg. I'm not sure if we're going to be seeing Derek Lingo again in this ball game. I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV, but from up here, it does not look very good. And that takes away yet another huge chunk of their offense. They're already without Garrett Elston, and now you're taking away the leading rusher for this Chieftains team.
And if so, that's a big loss for the offensive side of the ball for the Chieftains. They're going to need to find someone to make up for the loss of Derek Lingo. You lose him earlier in the game, and he's pretty much been your only receiver, and one of your only rushers so far is out now. Option formation once again. They send the man in motion on the near side part of your screen. Ford barks out the answer. He's going to keep it himself. Runs up the middle, trying to get to the 35-yard line. It looks like he might have lost a couple yards.
Great coverage that time by the Bobcat defense. They read that option out. There was no way the running back on the play would have been able to get any yards if it was pitched to him. And that time Ford his only option was to cut it back, and yet still good coverage. No running lanes there for Ford when he did end up cutting it back.
We talked to head coach Steve Hopkins before the game, and he said they were going to really try and focus on closing those gaps and making sure that Tonganoxie didn't have a chance to bust through them, and that's exactly what they've done. Every running play so far that we've seen by the Chieftains has been closed before the gap ever had a chance to open up.
And even when they do gain yards or pretty good yardage, it's always they're dragging tacklers along with them. It's been what Basehor Linwood has not been able to do as opposed to what Tonganoxie can do.
Ford keeps it himself and can't even get a yard as he's pushed down once again.
There's Jesse Hiss.
Bobcat defense is just acting like this is, I mean, it is a football game, but like it's a video game where they know exactly what the play is going to be, and they're able to get there before it ever has a chance to develop.
Football is all about options, and no pun intended with this triple option team, but it's all about options and different opportunities when you're on the offensive side of the ball. Right now, you know that Tonganoxie will not be throwing the ball, so that makes it even more easier. That doesn't sound right. It makes it even easier for this Bobcat defense to go out there and do their jobs.
2nd and 14, 5 down linemen for the Boston. Drew Potter on the blitz, going to rush in the backfield. Ford hit as he throws, going to throw it up. Almost interception. Almost intercepted by the Bobcat defense as Skylar Ross was in there on this coverage. You can also credit Garrett Canley as well as Tanner Garver back there. So he threw into triple coverage.
And now it is 4th and 14. You're in Bobcat territory, and it looks as if they're going to be going for it. And I'm just not sure. I know you need points at this point. Pardon me, but I just don't think Tonganoxie has the offensive firepower to get this unless they pull something or pull out one of those weird formations again and actually get it right this time.
4th and 14, crowd starting to get into it here at Keister Field. Shotgun formation, trip receivers to the near side as they're going to send a man in motion. And Jared Summers, belt high snap for Ford, going to throw long into the backfield, picked off by Skylar Ross. Ross across the 20 up to the 25 and hit down at the 30-yard line. Skylar Ross was crossing the 20 and it was thrown directly to him.
Yeah, another bad throw. In fact, if Skylar Ross had just dropped that interception, we all love stats, they'd actually have better field possession, but it's senior night. Skylar Ross wanted that interception on senior night. Good for him. But they've actually lost about 10 to 15 yards as opposed to the original line of scrimmage.
Well, it's almost the momentum that an interception will do for you as opposed to a dropped pass.
Yeah, they really needed all the momentum in a 21-0 ball game.
21-0 Basehor on top here with almost under 5 minutes left to go, second quarter. Murphy goes under center, offset I formation. Pitch going to go Ross, near side, trying to cut the corner, and he does. Across the 30 to the 35. Still on his feet, ladies and gentlemen. He trips up at the 50-yard line, but falls in to Chieftain territory. Skylar Ross, man, when he gets those legs moving, I don't think anyone can stop that kid.
No, very speedy, and he's the other added dimension now that Basehor Linwood has put into their offensive game. We know about the power with Drew Potter and Jesse Hiss when he's feeling better, and as well as Dalton Mellies, but Skylar Ross adds a little bit of lightning to go along with those other guys' thunder running game. Just another thing to look out for when you're playing the Bobcats. 1st
and 10, ball on the Chieftain 44, handoff Potter, left side, cross it, finds a crease and falls to almost the 41-yard line.
And talking to Coach Steve Hopkins again, and this is something I noticed as well, they are now giving Skylar Ross more opportunities. Why? Because of ball security. He really was fumbling it around a lot earlier on in the season, just flailing around, not great ball security. Pardon me using the same term twice in a row, but now that he's done a good job of holding onto that ball, you're going to see a lot more of Skylar Ross.
One tight end set for the Bobcats. Murphy rushed in the backfield, going to throw it up, short throw. Ben Johnson caught it as he jumped up and grabbed it at the 24-yard line. You gotta love the effort by the junior and Ben Johnson.
Well, first of all, let's be honest. That was a horrible decision by Colin Murphy. But when you have guys like Ryan Murphy and Ben Johnson, two receivers that are bigger than anyone that will be guarding them, why not just toss it up to them and make them go make a basketball rebound and pick up that first down? Horrible decision. Great result, though.
Good catch by Ben Johnson right there. It sets up a first down for the Bobcats. 1st and 10, ball Chieftain 26-yard line. 3 receivers set near side, man in the next to him is Skylar Ross. Murphy, step back's going to throw long. Ryan Murphy, the intended receiver, and it hits off his right hand in the end zone. Incomplete pass for the Bobcats.
Not a bad throw, maybe a little bit long, but Ryan Murphy kind of lollygagged his way over there. Got twist-turned a couple times looking for the ball in the air, and that led to the ball dropping to the ground. There was a man sort of right there with him, but the ball was thrown in a pretty good place, and if Ryan Murphy maybe leaves his feet also, we could be talking about another touchdown, but either way, they still have downs and yardage to play with.
2nd and 10, ball 26-yard line for the Bobcats. Shotgun formation is an offset with a fullback and Drew Potter. Quarterback keeper as Murphy rolls near side down at the 20-yard line. Maybe he got to the 19 as he fell forward.
That time they lined up 4 wide receivers, or 3 or 4 wide receivers over here to the right side. That shifted over a lot of the DBs and a lot of linebackers, creating an open hole and opportunity for Colin Murphy to run to the left side, pick up those 5 yards.
3:53 left to go, second quarter of play. Strong I formation set this time for the Bobcats. 2 receivers near side, and they got the defensive line of the Tonganoxie Chieftains to jump.
You could tell that they were either going to do something along those lines or run, because Tanner Garver lined up as the wide receiver and just was standing there very casually, not looking very ready to go. And when they were drawn offside, you saw them applauding. So they ran into that. Pardon me. They came into that play expecting to try to draw the Chieftains offsides, and just not a very disciplined play that time out of Tongi, and results in another first down for the Bobcats.
A 5-yard penalty. Goes up for a first down, so it'll be 1st and 10. Ball 15-yard line. Under 4 minutes left. It's 3:45 left to go on the clock. Shotgun formation. Ross right to the left side is Murphy. Murphy rushed in the backfield, trying to turn the corner. He's going to lose yardage as he's sacked in the backfield by number 44 and Shane Levi.
Well, that's a running back that you're trying to get away from. Colin Murphy, sort of a running back for this Basehor Linwood team, and there's someone down the field, and may be Colin Murphy. Can't see a number right now. He's being shielded by his coach. I don't see number 4 walking around right now on the field, so I believe it is Colin Murphy.
This is certainly a scary moment for the Bobcats. If Murphy is not able to go forward, we heard Coach Hopkins talk about last year he wasn't ever for sure if Murphy was actually healthy throughout the course of the season. This year he has been, and that's been part of the reason that they've just dominated the team and have made quick work of everybody. Well, if he's hurt, how much do you look at what happened last year against Sumner?
Well, you lose one of your best weapons, and they've taken off his helmet, which cannot be a good sign. There's players praying right now, which is never a good sign. But you lose an added element of your offense. You put in someone inexperienced such as Zach Hevel, perhaps, or Tanner Garver, and you kind of go to the way of the Tonganoxie Chieftains right now, and the fact that they just can't pass.
The players are huddled around the right side of the 30-yard line. They're not looking. There's Colin Murphy now going to be helped off the field to an applause by the fans. That is certainly something you never like to see when your quarterback goes down and a guy who means as much as anything to this team.
Especially on senior night. Senior
night, what could potentially be his last night playing here. He's going to be helped off the field. He's not putting any pressure on that right foot. He's very gingerly helped off. So Zach Hevel will be the man that replaces him. Correction, Tanner Garver will be.
No, it will actually be Hevel.
It will be Zach Hevel. So Zach Hevel, the guy who's done some good things, the junior quarterback, going to get his chance. A pitch near side, going to go across the 25, up to the 20, falls forward, still on his feet to the 15.
Paul Ream getting an opportunity right now with all these injuries, but Zach Hevel coming into this game, not a lot of attempts. He's 1 for 2 on the season. That one touchdown pass. 1 for 2. The one pass was for a touchdown. He actually threw that to Colin Murphy.
Hevel, a guy that usually sees time and mop-up minutes for the Bobcats, now finding his way on the field in the first half of play. Hevel came into this game just 1 for 2, like Jonas said, for 28 yards. Like to have a little bit more experience back there. 3 receivers near side. Potter in the backfield. Hevel going to step back, going to throw. Ben Johnson, the intended receiver, and he caught it. Touchdown, Bobcats.
Great season thus far for Zach Hevel. Now 2 for 3 on the season, 2 touchdowns. And it doesn't matter about experience where you can just toss it up to these wide receivers and tight end and Ben Johnson. You know they're just going to go make a play. That's a good way to integrate a new quarterback.
Tonight's been about the seniors, but Ben Johnson and Drew Potter have made their presence felt, whether it's been on the defensive side of the ball or the offense. Drew Potter has rushed, he's tackled, and Ben Johnson has caught some nice passes.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I did not mean for that to rhyme.
Well, you're a poet and you didn't even know it, but it's nice to see that the future for this Basehor Linwood team is not in bad hands, that they are not going to drop off too far after all these 22 seniors graduate.
So Garrett Cayley will come on, the man who threw the touchdown to hold it. Low snap this time. Cayley's kick, it's a high one. It might be just short, and it did barely go through. Garrett Cayley 2 for 2 on extra point opportunities tonight. So with 2:46 left to go, second quarter, Bobcats strike again. They lead this thing 28-0 over the visiting Tonganoxie Chieftains. Bobcat fans, check out the game night special from Simple Simons, a free medium, 1-topping pizza with a purchase of a large specialty. Yes, a free medium pizza from Simple Simon's with a large specialty. Carry out only. Special only good on Bobcat football game nights. Call 913-724-4141 and place your order now or visit them online at simplesimons.com. Tyler Ogden will come out to kick once again, 3 back deep for the Chieftains right at the 10-yard line. They're spaced evenly throughout from the right to the left side. Ogden comes on, gets the signal, charges forward. It's going to be a low, it's going to be an onside kick, and it's going to bounce, and it's almost going to be recovered by Basehor, but the Chieftains will fall on it right at the 44-yard line.
It's really rubbing salt in the wound right now by the Bobcats, but why not and really put that nail in the coffin? They almost did recover right there and would have been in great field position, but it looks like Tonganoxie will get the ball back. As actually I look down the sideline, Colin Murphy is running on his own along the sideline. Looks like he may end up being okay despite that scary situation just moments ago.
Now the question becomes, do you put him back in with a 28-point lead?
It's a good question. Do you put him back in there with a 20-point lead on his senior night, though? That's the real question.
That is. So it'll be 1st and 10, ball 43-yard line of the Chieftain zone, trying to get into Bobcat territory. They send a man in motion. Lingo get the handoff, almost fumbled to the backfield. And the Bobcats may have fell on it. And it is another turnover for the Bobcats. They recover their 2nd fumble of the night.
Well, here comes the real decision. I'm keeping an eye down there on number 4. It doesn't look like he's going to be going back out there quite yet.
Maybe that's the smart part on the Bobcats' part. They have to travel to Perry-Lecompton next week. You certainly want Murphy able and ready to go for that big showdown.
This team has higher aspirations than just winning on senior night. They want to win the state title, and they're going to need Colin Murphy certainly if they want to do that. So I do agree with the decision to keep him on the bench, at least right now.
So Hubble will go under center. 3 receivers to the near side, and we have flags all over the place. As we had one for the back judge as well as the far judge.
You'd have to imagine it would be a false start, and that's what it will be. So I would like to know exactly how Basehor Linwood is going to go about, and will their offense be any different now that Zach Havill's in there? We already saw them throw that deep fade to Ben Johnson, but it looked as if on that play before it got blown dead, they were going to run a little bit of an option play, which they have done with Colin Murphy, but again, we'll see how the play calling changes for the Bobcats right now.
And what you lose is the ability for the really deep fade route that Colin Murphy can throw.
So beautiful.
Pitch by Hevel over to Ross. Going to take it across the 45 to the 40, still on his feet and falls forward to the 35-yard line. Zach Hevel has all the speed in the world. Not Zach Hevel, correction. Skylar Ross has all the speed in the world. And the second he turns those jets on, it's hard to get him.
Well, they had the play blown dead just a moment ago, and they decided to still run that option play, and it worked out quite well despite the fact that we all saw it.
So it'll be 1st and 10. Ball at the 37-yard line for the Bobcats. Handoff will go Ross right up the middle. Rumbles and bumbles under the secondary and down at the 28-yard line.
Well, we talked about how Skylar Ross is sort of the lightning and the speed. That time showing off a little bit of his power running right there, just bursting through the line of scrimmage and dragging some tacklers with him to pick up that 1st down. Not something you exactly expect out of Skylar Ross in his running style.
So it'll be enough for a 1st down. 1st and 10, ball 29-yard line for the Bobcats. 4 down linemen for the Chieftains this time. Hevel goes under center under Josh Barnes, senior. Pitch will go left side. Potter trying to cut to the edge. Does. He gets to the 35. And now up to the 20. Breaks into the secondary and down at the 13-yard line. These runners are just all over the place here tonight for the Bobcats.
Is this role reversal drive right now? Just a moment ago, we saw Skylar Ross show his power running. That time, Drew Potter going to the edge, showing off some cuts here and there, cutting back to the middle of the field, looking a little bit more like Skylar Ross.
Yeah, really showing off the finesse of the running game that we haven't seen from Drew Potter. Yeah, it's almost like they are playing role reversal here. Strong I formation set once again for Hevel, and everybody jumps early, and Hevel pushes the pile forward. There's a flag, and flags come from everywhere. Let's see what the initial call is. Again, if you're just now joining us here on 810varsity.com, we welcome you. Score. Basehor leads this one on top. They're up 28-0 here in the 2nd quarter of play with 1:23 left to go.
Personal foul against Chieftains.
And it will go against the Chieftains, so let's back them up with the personal foul. Those flags came from every direction.
Yeah, you'd have to think they said it was a personal foul, maybe along the lines of a face mask or maybe even a horse collar. But either way, this ball will now be halfway to the goal. And again, they've done this entire drive on the ground, so why not go away from that philosophy, and I expect them to keep pounding it with Potter, probably a little bit of Mellies as well here.
Especially for the Chieftains, you can't give the Bobcats any more opportunities than they're already going to create. This is probably one of the most efficient offenses in all of the Kansas City metro area that I've ever seen.
Yeah, for sure.
There's been no one that's been able to stop them. Right now, Hevel will go in there, goes under center, strong eye formation set, one tight end once again. Handoff Potter up the middle, falls forward. Did he get in the end zone? Waiting for the signal. He might be short. It might be inches to the goal line.
Yeah, the nose of the football is probably going to be right on the goal line right there. But again, Drew Potter came up right to the line of scrimmage with a lot of speed right there. I'm surprised with all the power he has, he wasn't able to burst through into the end zone.
So it'll be 2nd and 1, ball literally right on the 1-yard line. Hevel goes under center, pushing the pile forward. Touchdown, Bobcats. Zach Hevel picks up his first touchdown of the year as he just pushed the pile forward on that one.
Yeah, got a little help also from Dalton Mellies, a little bit of a Reggie Bush push from the back as well. But good for Zach Hevel, able to help shepherd his team down the field. They didn't have a long way to go, but all on the ground, so we were wondering how the game plan is going to change. Well, they're running it a lot more.
Yeah, they're running a lot more and it's still being just as efficient as ever. The score now, 34-0 in favor of the Bobcats. Zach Hevel replacing Colin Murphy at the quarterback position right now, as Murphy went down on the previous drive with what appeared to be an ankle injury. He has since, we've seen him on the sideline running around trying to make sure it feels well. But you have to like this decision to keep Zach Hevel in, especially with a 34-point lead.
Yeah, and now if they are going to be running it a lot more, they'll just keep the clock moving. That's probably the best situation.
High snap once again, and Kaylee's kick is nothing but up through the upright. That extends it 35-0 in favor of the Bobcats. They are all over the Chieftains here in the early going. Again, follow 810varsity.com on Facebook and Twitter. The rest of the season, we'll choose a weekly winner for a $50 gift certificate to Best Buy, Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow 810 Varsity on Facebook and Twitter today and receive your potential gift card. Bobcats up 35-0, second quarter of play. Just 44 ticks left on the clock. We've seen the Chieftains do some good things, but not enough to where they can actually put together a successful drive.
No, I believe the Chieftains actually have more time of possession right now than the Bobcats. They probably made up a little bit of ground right there with that long running drive, but it seems as if we've seen the white team, as in Tonganoxie, had the ball a lot longer than Basehor Linwood, but I mean, that's been the story really all year. Basehor's just more efficient, really more talented, to tell you the truth.
Bobcats' average scoring drive for the first quarter has been 6 plays to open things up. This one's going to bounce and it's going to go back to the 5-yard line. Picked up by Lingo at the 1. Lingo cuts back far side, still on his feet, across the 5 to the 10, and there's flags everywhere.
I don't know why they didn't stop that play, though.
He was never down. His knee never touched the ground.
They threw a flag, but that's no reason to stop the play. This better be quite a penalty.
They might have had all signs on the kicking unit. That would be the only thing I could think of.
That's the only reason why they should stop the play.
The officials were conferred right at the 15-yard line in the middle of the field.
Basehor Linwood is walking back to around the area of the 40, which probably goes along with your theory, Aaron, that they may have been offsides on the kick. But Coach Steve Hopkins has no idea either right now.
That would be the only reason I could think that they would need to stop play, especially on a kickoff return.
Tonganoxie seems to be happy with the decision, though.
So it looks like we'll do it again.
They're waving it off. Bad call. I think it was an inadvertent whistle, to tell you the truth.
And they are going to redo the kick as Tyler Ogden will kick it once again. It was a bad kick the first time. Maybe we can right the ship here on this one.
Yeah, you hear fans booing in the background. I kind of tend to agree with them. That's a pretty bad job right there by the Zebras.
They never should have blown the play dead once again. We shouldn't be having this issue. Tyler Ogden will come out to kick once again. 44 seconds left as Bobcats up 35-0, 3 back deep for the Chieftains.
Tell you the truth, what they may have thought the ball, when it was rolling back, they may have thought it crossed the goal line.
Ogden gets the signal squib because it's a Brett Shelter who just falls on it right at the 40-yard line. That's where the Chieftains will pick up this drive. They got a long way to go if they're going to climb the mountain and get back in this one. They're down 35-0. So the Bobcat special teams unit will come off the field, and we're going to see this defensive unit that has looked about as good as I can remember for the entire season.
This has been probably one of their best performances all year, other than the time they won a game against Bishop Ward 60-0, but going for another shutout tonight. By the way, that inadvertent whistle, whatever the heck was going on, as there's a penalty against both teams actually, so the penalties are going to offset. Quite the change in field position. Remember, Lingo was being chased around the 5-yard line when they blew that whistle for whatever reason. And now they're right at the 32, a change of about 20 yards. And not that it will probably matter with 40 seconds left, but still, ref's got to do a better job.
So it'll end up being a 20-yard penalty after the offsetting penalties. That's where the Chieftains will start again. They came into this game just 1-6. They came off a big loss last week to Perry, a 54-7 loss at Perry Lecompton. They haven't been home yet for district play. And we're going to get underway here. This drive will start right at the 32-yard line. 1st and 10 for Forward. Sends a man in motion. Handoff will go Lingo up the middle. Still, and he wrapped up before he ever had a chance. And that's pretty much been the story for the Chieftains offense once again. And we're hearing boos all over the crowd.
Yeah, things are getting a little bit chippy. We talked about that earlier, but Ben Johnson came flying out of the pile right there as if he had gotten pushed. That's what the fans aren't liking, or at least that's what I believe the fans aren't liking right now.
Clock still ticking, under 20 seconds left to go here. 21 on the game clock. We will see a play out of the Chieftains. One last one and maybe a deep Hail Mary into the end zone to try and get on the board.
If they can throw it that far.
Forward calls out a session. Handoff Lingo up the middle. Nothing doing. Falls forward maybe to the 45-yard line. And that'll do it. Second quarter of play. Chieftains down in this one, 35-0. Basehor here on senior night, looking every bit of experience as we've seen all year long. They have had no problem so far in this one. So with that, here on 810varsity.com, we're going to take a break. You can watch the halftime festivities if you would like. We got about a 15-minute halftime before we return. Bobcats up on top, 35-0. You're listening to 810varsity.com.
to support your Bobcats this week. Our Lady Bobcats volleyball team begins some state.
Welcome back into 810varsity.com for Basehor Linwood Bobcat football action here on the home for high school sports, 810varsity.com. Basehor winning after 2 quarters of play. They lead this one 35-0 after what seems to be a halfless Tonganoxie Chieftains.
Well, right now Tonganoxie's got a tough situation on their hands. They came into the game already without their starting quarterback, Garrett Elson. Later on into I believe the second quarter, their perhaps their best offensive player, Derek Lingo, went down with an injury. I believe he has since come back, but still, being a one-dimensional offense is not what you want to be coming into a game against the very talented Basehor Linwood Bobcat football team. And to tell you the truth, you can't really break it down scientifically because I just think Basehor Linwood was just more talented and executed much better than Tonganoxie did in that first half.
For those of you that were with us in the first quarter of play and saw Colin Murphy go down with a foot injury, he is walking off the field right now. There might be a slight limp, but a little bit less than what we thought.
Yeah, it looks like there's a sleeve there on his, I believe, left calf. I'm guessing maybe it was a high ankle sprain, maybe a calf injury. Again, you and I were talking about this towards the end of the first half. Do you really need to bring him back in? I know it's senior night, but you're up 35-0. You're heading into the playoffs, and you're a notoriously bad playoff team. You want to have all your pieces ready to go. I'm not sure if we will see Colin Murphy again, but if he does come back, I mean, I hope he puts up the stats for senior night.
Just one win in the history of playoff action for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. Trying to right the ship here this year. They started off to a good district record. They lead this one 35-0 here at the beginning of the third quarter of play. Skylar Ross is the man back deep for the Bobcats. He's in between the 10-yard line, in between the left and the right hash mark. For the Chieftains, rushing yards were few and far between. As right now, Amos White, the 6'1", 170-pound senior, comes out to do the kicking duties for the Chieftains. Ball at the 40-yard line. White waits for the signal from the referee about 3 steps away from the ball. There's the signal. White signals with his left hand. Onside kick, and it's a high one. It's going to be pooched. Right, taken at the 35-yard line. Quickly ahead to the 40 and down at the 41-yard line. Tyler Ogden, the man on the reception.
Was our first chance to see Tonganoxie kick off this game.
It was. They initially received at the beginning of the first half and then didn't put any points up on the board. 4 turnovers was the story for the Chieftain offense in the first half.
Very sloppy play. Poor passes all over the place by Ford. Then they put the ball on the ground a couple times due to fumbles. Just a bad offensive day, and it's probably a game to forget at the end of the day for the Chieftains.
So Zach Hevel will start the third quarter for the Bobcats. Smart decision for him to rest Colin Murphy after that leg injury. Goes under center, handoff middle, right up the middle, maybe a gain of 1 or 2 yards as he continuously pushes the pile forward.
And we were wondering towards the end of that first half, how is Basehor Linwood going to adjust their offense? Well, ever since we made that point, it's been all runs, no passes thus far for Zach Hevel. He has 1 pass, I should say. It was a touchdown pass, but ever since then, they have not dropped back once to throw the ball.
There's a touchdown pass to the junior and Ben Johnson. 11:30 left to go, third quarter of play. 22 seconds left to go on the game clock as the Bobcats taking all the time in the world to go under center. And you think they're trying to work that clock a little? Yeah,
perhaps a little bit. It is 35-0. They have been running the ball, which of course will keep the clock running. So why not? You still have 5 seconds on that. I was about to say shot clock.
Hevel goes under center, offset I formation, pitch to Ross, left side, angling, trying to cut the corner. He does and works his way into Chieftain territory across the 50 and down at the Chieftain 49-yard line.
Well, we saw them in the first half. They tested that left side of the line, their offensive line, a couple times actually, and it's worked out a lot of the time. We saw towards the end of the second quarter, Drew Potter doing a couple fancy footwork around the left side of the offensive line, so they've keyed in on an area and they've kept pounding it.
Look at this. They're going to mark it right at the 50-yard line. So 3rd and 2. Big third down right here. Ross forward ahead. Has the first down and then some as he's down at the 44-yard line at the Chieftains.
Again, some power running out of Skylar Ross. We've mentioned it a couple times. He's more of a flashy runner. He's going to bring a lot of speed, a lot of shiftiness, but this is now the second time we've noticed that he's just put his nose down, put his helmet down, and picked up a couple tough yards, and that time was very key because he just barely got that first down.
So it'll be 1st and 10, ball at the 44-yard line of the Chieftains. Ryan Murphy, the receiver, out near side. Handoff will go to Dalton Neely. He's right up the middle, and Neely trying to cut the corner, still on his feet, and works his way almost to the first down marker, but he's just shy It'll bring up second down.
That's a little bit more what we're more used to. Dalton Melly is just taking the ball and pounding it right through the heart of that defense, picking up a tough nose 9 yards. He was stopped right at the line of scrimmage, but still was able to pick up those 9 yards.
Dalton Melly is, of course, one of those 22 seniors that were honored before the game in what was really a touching ceremony.
It was beautiful. I really enjoyed every moment of it.
9:15 left to go, third quarter play, handoff right up the middle, first down and then some as he pushes the pile forward.
Melly's again the ball carrier.
Melly's on the carry.
Good enough for a Bobcat. First down.
It'll go for a Bobcat first down.
It's being marked on the 32.
9:43 left to go, third quarter. Bobcats way out in front in this one here on 810varsity.com. My name Aaron Berlin. Joined alongside by Jonas Nordman as always. Well, not always. You took a couple of weeks off.
I took a couple work breaks, Aaron. Don't be patronizing me like that.
Strong eye formation set. Handoff. Hevel. Cross to Skylar Ross, who's met right at the 40-yard line. Maybe a gain of 1.
Trust me, I was there in spirit. I was actually very interested in what was going on with that Mill Valley game. I was glad to see that they blew them out as per usual. And
what was your excuse from this and that one again?
Well, I was filling in for your duties actually, Aaron, back in Lawrence.
That's right. You were handling my soccer PA duties at the University of Kansas. Clock goes under 9 minutes. Left to go, third quarter. And what would the soccer team do without a public address announcer? Who knows? Under 9 minutes left to go. Ball right at the 29-yard line. We are going to have a timeout on the field. It'll be timeout Bobcats. The weather may be cooling down, but you can still keep a hot tan. Stop at a Bass Tanning anytime and keep that glow all year long. Bass Tanning right across from Sonic on 40 Highway. 724-2288, the number if you want to call and get in touch with them. And, of course, that is where the beds are cool and the tans are hot. Bass Tanning, and now couldn't be a better time of the year to stop by there and get your money's worth as the sun's slowly starting to move away.
Yeah, we're starting to face away from the sun right now, if you want to break it down real scientifically right now. It's definitely getting a little cooler, and certainly the situation here in Basehor, Kansas, we came into this broadcast talking about how it's actually kind of a little bit warm, despite the fact that we brought some sleeves with us, but now it is definitely cooling down a little bit, and I think I might put the jacket on in just a second. 57
degrees, the current temperature here at Keister Field on a beautiful October evening here in Basehor, Kansas.
This is fall, is it not? This is a beautiful fall evening.
Couldn't ask for a more beautiful fall evening and more beautiful football field to play on.
Do you call it fall or do you call it autumn, Aaron?
Well, here in the state of Kansas, we like to call it fall. I don't know what you Los Angeles and California kids do up there.
Well, we don't deal with fall, so we don't really say anything.
You do get a little bit of cold weather.
It gets chilly.
It gets around 70 degrees if I'm not wrong.
Yeah, it gets around 70 degrees.
Hevel goes under center once again. Fake handoff, rolls out near side. Gonna throw long. Has a receiver in the end zone. Touchdown, Bobcats! Ryan Murphy kind of found his way behind a defender and caught it. That was one of the nicer catches I've seen from Ryan Murphy, who has had plenty of highlight reel catches.
Yeah, we always talk about how he goes out and boxes out defenders to make his catches. That time, showing a little bit of acrobatic ability, just twisting around, catching it sort of right behind him, right at the behind of his defender, using those soft hands. Nice catch. Great play overall. Also, a pretty nice throw from Zach Hevel. So
a team that put up around 42 points last week already has 41 here with the extra point pending. Zach Hevel will come on to do the hold, so the man with the throw will come on to hold it. Low snap once again. Clean handoff, though, as Garrett Keeley punches it through. 42-0 in favor of the Bobcats. We haven't seen a game like this since Bishop Ward came to town.
Well, I mean the 60-0 ball game, yeah. But how about these stats now on the year for Zach Hevel? 3 of 4 on the year, 3 touchdowns. All of them by over 20 yards. He's a pretty accurate passer. Of course, I could probably throw 3 touchdowns throwing to Ben Johnson and Ryan Murphy, but still, he's getting the ball where it needs to be.
When you have receivers that can do the job for you, it helps a lot. And that's one thing that this Basehor team is going to miss next year is a receiver like Ryan Murphy.
Well, they will still have Ben Johnson, but they won't have someone like Ryan Murphy to take away a little bit of that pressure away from Ben Johnson. Well, when you have both of them on the field at the same time, you can't exactly shade a safety towards either one of the two. For the most part, you have to play them straight up, and you're going to get burned every time if you try to do that. So with
8:49 left to go, third quarter play. Bobcats ahead 42-0 as the special teams unit for the Tonganoxie Chieftains comes out. 3 back deep for the Chieftains once again as Tyler Ogden comes on to kick. Ogden waits for the signal, and he charges forward. Going to be taken right at the 10-yard line by Lingo. Lingo across the 15, breaks one tackle up to the 20, head forward, and he dives forward to the 25-yard line. We do And it looked like you almost held your breath right there. Zach Hevel kind of squandered around on the ground real quick before getting back up. With one quarterback already out, you can't afford to have your backup quarterback out as well.
No, certainly not. And I'm looking down the sideline right now. Colin Murphy is up and standing upright, not really needing the aid of the crutches or one of his teammates. He does have his helmet on, which shows that maybe he wants to get back into the game. He's standing, ironically, next to Jesse Hiss, who's battling some injury issues of his own. But it looked as if he's okay. Probably not going to get back in the ballgame.
Split pistol formation once again. Handoff will go near side up the middle, falls forward to the 27-yard line, but there is a flag on the play. It came from the left side part of the field.
Yeah, certainly in the area of a holding, maybe even a chop block, which you don't see a lot of the time in high school.
8:38 left to go, third quarter of play. Chieftains on their first drive of the day here at Keister, or not of the day, of the half. Tripping over all my words today.
It's cold. It happens to the best of us.
Of course, my name Aaron Berlin, joined alongside by the Californian and Jonas Nordman. Jonas, you're not used to this weather. How do you typically deal with the cold weather here in Kansas? I mean, we're kind of used to it, still we dread it when it comes around.
Well, I'm a man, so I can handle these kind of things. It's okay. I make my own beef jerky, so it's okay. But it's certainly not the greatest
Ron
thing.
Swanson it? Is that the best way to say it?
I don't watch that show, but I hear great things about it.
Yeah. Parks and Rec, one of my favorite Thursday night shows. Not pulling a plug out there for anyone.
Yeah, easy. Careful.
Again, if you're just not joining us here on 8university.com, this one got out of hand early, and it's continued to stay out of hand as Basehor looks to be putting the final touches here on this one. They're up 42-0 over the visiting Tonganoxie handoff. Handoff, Julius Coates rumbles and bumbles left side, still on his feet trying to cut back, but he's wrapped up in the backfield before he ever had a chance to cut back and use those legs.
Again, great chase down. Good job by the defense to get a lot of players to the ball, make that gang tackle for a minimum game right there.
So it'll be 2nd and 11 after the 1 yard loss by Julius Coates on kind of that split pistol formation back there. That's really the best thing you want to call it. You got 3 deep backs behind the quarterback and Tyler Ford, who is starting today over Garrett Elston. Ford, quarterback keeper, stumbles in the backfield, now rushed by a handful of Bobcats defenders. And Josh Stillion, the senior, wrapped him up here on senior night.
Great opportunity right there by Josh Stilling getting in there on senior night. We don't usually call his name a lot, so it's good to see on this senior night that a lot of players are getting their opportunity. Hopefully that continues as this game winds its way down.
So it'll bring up a big 3rd and 15 here at the 20-yard line for the Chieftains. You got to think they would like to get at least 1 touchdown or something that they can
make it look
forward
okay.
with.
Yeah. It's been a tough season for the Chieftains. There's no doubt about it. Remember, they had their coach, I guess, quits or fired. Either way, it was a whole ordeal that we probably shouldn't get into.
Ford going to drop back, going to throw, has a receiver over the middle, jumps up and catch, and it's going to be incomplete as it tipped off his hands. He was covered by about 3 Bobcat defenders as Ford really threw that one to Brett Shelton, and he was right in the middle of everyone.
Again, another gadget play this time out of Tonganoxie, and it looks like they may try something else to get, well, it is 4th down. I was going to say Ford is lining up as a wide receiver. That's because he's going to be the gunner on this punt and try to make the tackle.
Punt formation for the Chieftains as Tanner Garver as well as Skylar Ross are back deep. Punt's a good, clean one, high end over end, and it's going to be fair caught by Tanner Garver at the 45 as he falls forward. That's where the Bobcat offense will come out once again, short field, and I don't think it's any coincidence that they put up 42 points without a short field.
Well, absolutely. In fact, the field position battle has probably been won by Tonganoxie if you think about it. Just the efficiency of this Bobcat offense that they can just move up and down the field at ease that puts the result on the scoreboard that it is right now.
The result is a 42-0 lead here with 7:08 as Zach Hevel comes out to lead the troops again. This is about the 4th time we've seen him, and he's looked fairly efficient. I mean, there's been nothing negative to say about the kid as he has spent time replacing Colin Murphy here on senior night.
The only negative you could perhaps say is that he's a bit of a smaller quarterback, especially coming back from Colin Murphy, and maybe he lacks a little bit of the arm strength, especially compared to, I don't know, Colin Murphy, but the guy's got good form. He throws a good ball. Actually, you'll see on those deep balls he throws, he throws usually a pretty tight spiral. I actually think the offense is in pretty good hands with Zach Hevel. He can make a lot of the throws.
Handoff Mellies, and he gets maybe 1 or 2 yards. It'll go for a 2nd and 7. Ball right at the 42-yard line. Ryan Murphy is the receiver on the near side part of your screen. One tight end set, offset I formation as Hevel goes under center. Pitch to Ross on the left side. Ross cuts the corner across the 40, still on his feet, and brought down at the 33-yard line. Zach Hevel, man, making a case for that number 1 running back spot.
Well, Skylar Ross right there, touchdown saving tackle on the edge. Because if he gets by that last tackle, Skylar Ross is gone. He had those legs firing. He was out in the open flat. Good tackle by the safety. Otherwise, we might be talking about a 49-0 or 48, pardon me, extra point pending.
To bring up first down after about the 12-yard run by Skylar Ross. Hevel goes under center, offset or I formation set. Once again, one tight end. Handoff will go right up the middle. Fumble on the field. And the Chieftains have it as they fell right on it. I think Julius Coates was the man who immediately fell on it the second he saw the pigskin pop free.
Again, it's getting a little chippy out there right now. Players are barking at each other. I don't know exactly the kind of trash talk that Tonganoxie could be spitting out there, down 42-0. But still, that ball, it took a while for Basehor Linwood to even recognize that the ball was on the ground. They had an offensive lineman right there, a little slow to get down and make the play, but either way, the Chieftains will have another opportunity, I guess, to at least put points on the board.
So we'll get to see the Chieftains offense once again. As a quick 3-and-out last time. Maybe they can stay on a little bit more. We did see some more progressive drives in the later part of the second quarter.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure they won the time of possession battle as well. They've held on to the ball decently well, but that's what happens when you only run the ball. So, I mean, you take what you have.
Chieftains in their white road uniforms with white pants, white tops, white helmets with a red trim on the side and slanted numbers. Kind of hard to see if you're a broadcaster, if you want to put it that way. Bobcats in their all-green uniforms with green pants, green tops, white numbers, and a green helmet with a yellow Bobcat on the left and right side.
How's Basehor's numbers looking?
They're pretty solid. They're pretty bold, and they're easy to see. I like that.
They are.
Tyler Ford, high handoff, going to keep it himself. Runs near side across the 20. Stumbles to the 25-yard line. Corey McCleary was in on the tackle.
Again, we're seeing more players getting an opportunity right now. Corey McCleary, another player, he's actually in the position that Dalton Mellies would usually be in. So, again, players getting an opportunity, which is always something you like to see with a score such as this.
Clock continuing to tick down here in the third quarter of play. There's about 5 minutes and 40 seconds left to go, third quarter. 42-0, favor of the Bobcats. Split formation once again. Handoff will go right up the middle. Has enough for the first down and into the secondary as he falls forward to the 31-yard line. Josh Stillion in on the tackle for the Bobcats.
Josh Stillion on the tackle. Shane Levi was the ball carrier.
Shane Levi, the man on the carry for the Tonganoxie Chieftains.
First down for the Chieftains.
First and 10, ball 30-yard line for the Chieftains. They're moving those chains forward and keeping that clock moving. Looking for a little bit of progress here on this drive. Three-back set once again. Handoff right up the middle. Rumbles and bumbles as Shane Levi up across the 35 and down at the 37-yard line. Josh Stillion once again on the tackle, and he seems to be a regular.
Yeah, he's really making an impact in this limited amount of time that he's been in there. He's been all around the ball. You see him, he's sort of playing that 3-4 linebacker role where he's standing up on the line of scrimmage, rushing the passer, and doing a good job of getting back and making the tackle if the play does get past him.
4:52 left to go, third quarter of play. Shotgun formation once again. Handoff will go left side across the 40, enough for the first down, and down at the 43-yard line is Aaron Davis. And there is a flag on the play, as it might have been holding on the offensive line. Again, let's pause 1 second for station identification. This is Basehor Linwood football on the home for high school sports, 810varsity.com. And back to the action with Aaron Berlin and Jonas Nordman. Again, welcome back into 810varsity.com. My name is Aaron Berlin, joined alongside by Jonas Nordman.
I don't think Kevin Harlan has anything on you anyways, to tell you the truth.
Well, he's got a little bit more crisp of a voice than I do. Situation here at Keister Field here on the campus of Basehor Linwood High School. 42-0 your score in favor of the Bobcats. Second and 4 opportunity for the Chieftains, who are working right to left across your radio dial. And it looks like we might have had a jump as the Basehor defense points to the Tonganoxie offensive line, but the Tonganoxie offense says, hey, when you point, you got three pointing right back at you.
Well, the running back, the farthest back running back for Tonganoxie started running before the ball had even been snapped. So if this doesn't go against Tongi, then I'm not really sure what the rest would be looking at.
The officials would confer right at midfield, and it will be an offsides on the defensive line of Basehor. So an interesting call right there.
It's weird considering the fact that running back I was just talking about slapped himself in the helmet also in disgust. So I guess the Basehor Linwood player drew him to start moving.
You can hear the frustration in the Basehor fan.
Yeah, they have a lot to complain about right now.
Second and 6, ball 34-yard line. Ford takes a clean snap, rolls out near side, wants to throw, has a receiver, and he dropped it. He dropped it. It was Shane Levi, the 5'8 sophomore, who had it in his hands and let it slip through.
You know, those are the kind of passes they should have been running all game long. Those short passes, those little screens, that would have put Ford in a much better situation to succeed. I don't know why they haven't done that more, to tell you the truth. He clearly has not been able to throw it more than 10 yards down the field.
The screen passes have helped so far for the Chieftains in this one, but the opportunities when they have risen have just not been there. Cover 3 for the Bobcats this time. Handoff going to go right up the middle. Short of the first down are the Chieftains here with 4:25 left to go.
Well, I would assume that they're going to go for it on fourth down. They've been pretty aggressive about that all throughout the game, even when they were still in it. So 4th and 1, this is the type of situation that their offense is suited for.
So it'll be 4th and a long one. Ball at the 39-yard line. They need to get to the 40 for the first down marker. This will be a big first down for the Chieftains to keep the chains moving and keep some of that momentum. 4th and 1, 4:01 left to go, third quarter of play. Chieftains will come out, shotgun formation, 3-back set, split receivers to each side. Tyler Ford barks out the orders. He'll take the snap, belt high snap. It'll take right hand, rumbles and bumbles, hit in the backfield and drop down. Big tackle by number 42 and Josh Stillion.
Great pursuit again, once again by Stillion. He read the play, sniffed the play out in the backfield right away, got in there, made the tackle. They actually combined on the tackle alongside with Jake Phillips. So Phillips and Stillion making that tackle. Give the ball right back to the Basehor Linwood offense in great scoring position.
The numbers might support the offense for Basehor, but the defense has really been the bright spot here in this one.
Pitching a shutout right now.
They have been relentless.
Yeah.
They can keep this up. It'd be their second shutout of the year as they shut out Bishop Ward earlier in the school year. 3:46 left to go is where Zach Hevel will come out once again. I formation set, one tight end. Handoff will go to Ross on the left side. Ross trying to cut the corner across the 35 up to the 36. Correction, it's Dan Engel in there now as it looks like Skylar Ross will take a breather for the rest of the day. After all the running he's done, he's certainly earned it.
Yeah, right now it's sort of mass substitutions for the Bobcats. They're bringing a lot of guys who don't see a ton of time, and I mean, that's what we like to see in a game like this.
Engel Jr. back there behind Dalton Mealy's. Hevel goes under center once again. Strong I formation set, split receivers to each side. Zachel Bricks gets up and looks at the near side part of the screen to get the call from head coach Hopkins. Now changing the play is Hevel, and it looks like we're going to have a timeout on the field.
Yeah, this is going to be a timeout, Basehor Linwood. It's their second timeout of the half, so one left.
Again, Nick and Jake's Real Food, Honest Drink. Nick and Jake's, the proud title sponsor of 810varsity.com. Check out our promotions throughout the season on Facebook and Twitter at Nick and Jake's.
What's a promotion?
You know, if you want to know a fun fact about me, I actually took speech class until I was in 6th grade. So if you're wondering why I slur a lot of words or I stutter sometimes, it's because I'm not necessarily the best speaker.
Well, luckily in broadcasting, you need to speak too much.
hey, I think I've come a long way since I was a small child.
From 6th grade? Yeah, probably.
6th grade.
I'd like to think so.
I've learned to formulate sentences just a little bit better. Not much better, but just a little bit. 3 minutes left to go, third quarter of play. Bobcat offense back out there again. The receiver on the near side part of your screen is number 81, or Brock Lindsay. Lindsay seeing very little amount of time. Pitch left side, Engel falls forward to about the 26-yard line, diving forward really instead of falling. As he kind of hops the second he gets that shoestring tackle.
Well, even when they have these sort of second-string guys in there, they're following the same game plan. Actually, you know, pound it up the middle, then toss it out to the left side. Not a lot of running, if you've noticed, to the right side. We've kind of noted that all throughout the game. But even with these other kids in here, same game plan. They still hold everybody on the roster accountable.
Man goes in motion. Handoff near side is Mealy's right up the middle. Rumbles and bumbles. It has enough for the first down. It'll go for a gain of 2 yards. So it looks as if They're going to mark him just shy of the first down. I thought, or correction, they will give him the first down as it looks like they were moving the nose right behind where the chains were. Again, if you're just now joining us here at 810varsity.com, welcome. Where have you been? This one has been a good one so far as Basehor up 42-0 over the visiting Tonganoxie Chieftains here on 810varsity.com. It was kind of an odd day from the start as we were down on the field, talking to the coaches, and with about 30 minutes left to go until the start of the game, Tonganoxie was nowhere to be found.
Yeah, I think they kind of had an idea what was going to happen tonight. Oh, good hit right there out of the Tonganoxie defense.
It will go for a loss. As Engel was the ball carrier. They might have marked it forward progress.
That may fire them up to get back into this ball game with a hit like that.
But, it was kind of one of those situations where Tonganoxie is just to the west. They're about 6 miles west on 2440 highway. And it could have been one of those situations where, they felt more comfortable doing their pregame warm-ups on their own field. They could practice things without anyone seeing it. And I kind of feel like that was the situation. Hevel roll out near side, has a receiver, going to throw incomplete pass as it was tipped by the Tonganoxie defense.
Yeah, looking for the senior tight end, Grant Moyer, right there. Again, another senior trying to get an opportunity.
Amos White was the man on the coverage. Bobcat fans still in this one, with this one a 42-0 lead for the home team. They certainly have liked what they have seen so far. 1:31 left to go, third quarter of play. Hevel gathering up the troops in the backfield. He's been sensational since coming on for the injured Colin Murphy. Fake handoff. Hevel wants to throw. Going to throw near side. Intended receiver jumps up, and it's going to be an incomplete pass.
Intercepted, in fact.
Intercepted by the Bobcat, or by the Chieftain defense. Brock Lindsay was the intended receiver.
Well, that's the first time Zach Hevel's thrown to the end zone and didn't complete it to his own guy. Now he's 3 for 5 on the season with 3 touchdowns.
Those are kind of numbers you just don't expect to hear. 3 for 5 with 3 touchdown passes.
Well, when you're Zach Hevel, those are the kind of numbers you put up.
1:25 left to go, third quarter. Chieftain offense backed up in their own end zone as Taylor Ford will come out. I formation set once again. Handoff will go to Julius Coates, the junior. Coates maybe a gain of 3 or 4 yards. Fans still energized here at this one at Keister Field on the campus of Basehor High School. Under 1 minute left to go, third quarter of play. Tonganoxie taking their time as 13 seconds are left to go on the play clock. Ford sends a man in motion. Handoff will go to Coates right at the middle. A run right long, and there'll be a quarterback keeper. Has enough for the first down, and they'll move the chains.
Well, now they're finally showing a little bit of life here in this offense. In fact, they've kind of been doing this all throughout the game. They've moved the chains at a decent rate. They've just kind of bogged down really around midfield. I don't think they even have a red zone trip in this ball game yet.
This has been a turnover-plagued game as Tonganoxie with 5 turnovers on the day and Basehor with 3 interceptions. That is unheard of for this offensive unit.
Yeah, and it has been some bad throws from both Colin Murphy as well as Zach Hevel. There's another fumble.
Fumble on the ground recovered by Basehor, and they're rumbling towards the end zone, and they'll be down at the 2-yard line. On the option pass, it was a miscompleted pass, and it stumbled and rolled around to the 5-yard line where it was landed on by a Bobcat defender.
Turnover number 5 now for the Chieftains, and if coming into this game, you knew they were already in a tough situation. If you're going to turn the ball over 5 times, well, you're just asking to be down by 42-0, and now an opportunity for 49.
And Hevel runs out onto the field to lead the troops once again. It'll be interesting to see how he responds after throwing that interception. That's the first one of the year.
We'll see if they even let him throw the ball down here inside the 5-yard line.
I formation set once again with Mealy's at the fullback position as well as Dan Engel as we have a timeout. Basehor on the field. Again, follow 810varsity.com on Facebook and Twitter. The rest of the season, we'll choose a weekly winner for $50 gift certificates to Best Buy, Nick and Jake's, and more. Follow 810varsity on Facebook and Twitter today.
Of course, the remainder of the schedule now for the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. They travel to Perry-Lecompton next week. That will be October 27th, which I believe is actually a Thursday. if I'm correct.
It is.
So finish out this regular season. But of course, we know that the regular season isn't what this Bobcats team really cares about at this point. They want to get into the playoffs and finally make a name for themselves, including this senior class, which has the best winning percentage in BLHS history.
Over 75% wins for this team, and it's been an unbelievable run. This will be their 18th consecutive this will be their 18th consecutive.
By the way, another turnover, I believe, on the play.
Not league win, but regular season win for them.
Yeah, I was talking with a fan, as it is, in fact, Tonganoxie ball as they fumble on the goal line. So some inefficiency for the first time all year by the Basehor Linwood. But if you look at it, if they do win this game, they're going to win this game. And if they win the game next week against Perry-LeCompton, the last 3 years they will have only lost one regular season game, which is just absolutely unbelievable. But the regular season doesn't matter now. They got to get into the playoffs, and they have to finally do something in the playoffs. And of course, they have to hope for a better matchup other than Sumner. But this is the year for Basehor Linwood.
Ford goes under center, sends a man in motion once again. Handoff will go near side. He wanted him to pitch it back, but he rumbles and bumbles, maybe for a gain of 2. Tyler Ford has done a pretty decent job replacing Garrett Elston at the quarterback position, who was out with an injured head.
He does have a concussion, so he does have, in fact, have an injured head, but he's done half of a good job. I think he's done a good job running the offense on the ground, but let's be honest, he can't throw the ball, or he can't throw the ball past 5 yards, and that hurts your offense when you're so one-dimensional that the other team knows what's going to happen no matter what. So I'd say he's done half of a good job, but if you're going to be thrown out there at the quarterback position, you need to be able to at least toss it around a little bit.
Again, we end the third quarter here, and right now your score from Keister Field, 42-0. Bobcats in complete control, and I think we had a feeling that this one could get out of hand soon when Tonganoxie came out and on their third play coughed up a fumble that went for a base for touchdown.
Yeah, sort of a harbinger of things to come. Too many turnovers for Tonganoxie. I honestly just think they never really had a chance. They were out-talented in this game. They were out-coached. You just look at the two teams on the field. Basehor Linwood is more physically imposing than Tonganoxie is, and they've really done whatever they wanted in this game, in all phases of the game. That includes special teams, which I've criticized a lot this year.
Well, you and I said it the second they ran out on the field, it looked like that Tonganoxie just didn't quite have the size to compete with the Bobcats.
No, and I mean, this is a team that's lost 6 in a row. They started off actually with a solid win. Well, it's not even a solid win. They beat Bishop Ward 34-6. Bishop Ward is a common opponent with these Basehor Linwood Bobcats, a team that beat 60-0. So this is a team in turmoil, of course, with their whole head coach situation. They're not playing well. This is just a deflated, defeated team that, in all honesty, has to look forward to next year.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 to start the fourth quarter, and they're going to run it right up the middle, maybe a gain of 4 or 5 on the play as they were backed up within their own end zone. 11:50 left to go. Clock continuing to tick here in the fourth quarter of play. Bobcats on top, 42-0. It's just almost staggering when you hear that. 42-0 to start the fourth quarter.
You put it up against the scores so they've had all year, 39-13 against Piper. That almost seems pedestrian the way they've been going all year. 60-0 over Bishop Ward, 43-21 over a solid Lansing team. Of course, the game against Bonner Springs, 69-26. Then there was Turner. Turner really did put up a great fight, only losing 28-14. Of course, the Mill Valley game, a game that you and I were both looking forward to, 42-21, and then 42-14 against Jefferson West last year. So, I mean, that's just what this offense does. They hover around the 42 number, and they put up huge offensive numbers.
For Tonganoxie, it's pretty much been the exact opposite. A struggling offense, never scoring over 17 points per game. That came as a high against Piper, and was really a close game. They had a chance to move 2-0. Both teams were 1-0 at that point, and that's pretty much where things started to spiral out of control.
Yeah, now Tongi is going to go and play Jefferson West. I mean, you have to wonder how that's going to turn out. Tongi is, as I just said, a team that's really fallen on hard times. You have to wonder about their inspiration. If they're even going to be into that game, it'll be the last game of the year. So you hope they put together a better performance for their seniors. But still, I mean, not a lot to play for in that last game against Jefferson West.
10:42 left to go, and of course the two powerhouses in this district have been Perry-LeCompton and Basehor Linwood. And fittingly enough, they will meet next week on the campus of Perry-LeCompton, what should be a good one. Handoff will go right up the middle, a full head of steam into the secondary and down before the 30-yard line, just shy of the first down marker.
I mean, Jefferson West and Perry Lecompton are playing as we speak. I don't have a live score update right now, but I'm sure that's a very competitive game. Two good teams. Perry Lecompton, that is a road game. It should be a tough test. I mean, you've told me, Aaron, I don't know the area that great, but it's a bit of a road trip to get there to Perry Lecompton. You wouldn't like to think it's going to have that much an effect on Basehor Linwood, but you never know. I'm sure it'll be a charged atmosphere.
It's about 20 minutes west of Lawrence, or not west, but north of Lawrence, if I'm correct. So if you're judging about a bus ride that usually goes around 55 miles per hour, it's a little bit, for my high school, my alma mater, Piper, is a little bit over an hour-long drive. It'll probably be somewhere around that as well for Basehor.
Yeah, and that'll wear on a team, for sure. I mean, we've both been in those situations, Aaron. Believe it or not, we did both play high school athletics, and those kind of long road trips definitely have their effect. You lose your edge, you lose your intensity, and I'm sure, as I said, it'll be a good atmosphere there at Perry. So not an easy game coming up for the Bobcats.
Let's go ahead and look at some games of interest around the league. Bonnier Spring currently up on Washington, 42-0. Eudora, a team that is in the Frontier League that Basehor will join after the year 2014. Eudora up on top of that one, 36-14 over Ottawa. Let's go into Class 6A in a battle for the Shawnee Mission School District. Shawnee Mission West 20, Shawnee Mission East 17. A close one right there is that one currently heading into the fourth quarter of play. Lansing a winner over Schlegel 26-6. Vicksburg right now over Blue Valley 31-14. And Olathe South 33 over Blue Valley West 17. Fans really still on their feet, energized here at this one. Under 9 minutes left to go, and you can't blame them. They have quite the team to cheer for. Belt high snap. Ford takes it this one across the 40 into the secondary. Has enough for the first down and down at the 35-yard line. But of course, you look at this Tonganoxie team. They have quite a bit of speed, and they have enough to trick teams. It's just putting it all together has been the problem so far.
It's been execution. Yeah, it's for sure been execution. They haven't gotten it done when it mattered most. Too many fumbles, 5 turnovers in a high-profile game such as this is just not going to cut it. And I mean, that falls on the players and it falls on the coaching. There's an injured player, injured Basehor Linwood player actually.
Cody Dean, the senior,
yeah.
One of the 22 seniors that will play their last game here on Keister Field. Of course, still the opportunity to host a playoff game, but of course they got to get past the powerhouse in Perry Lecompton next week. 42-0 here in the fourth quarter of play. Basehor on top of Tonganoxie here with just about 8 minutes, 45 seconds left to go. Again, the weather may be cooling down, but you can still keep a hot tan. Stop at a Bass Tanning anytime and keep that glow all year long. Bass Tanning right across from Sonic on 40 Highway. 724-2288, where the beds are cool and the tans are hot. And of course, Jonas, you're looking like, you could use
Am I losing my color?
A little bit of Bass Tanning.
Oh my goodness, I'm already losing my color. We were talking about this a couple of weeks ago. I had such a nice bronze over the summer, and now just the lack of sunlight now. I need to get back out in the sunlight. That's a whole different issue.
You need to stop playing video games and actually
you don't even know.
Work a little bit.
You don't even, well, okay. Easy there. Come on. We're all just trying to live our lives right now, Aaron.
We're all just trying to make the most of the situation that's been handed to us. And right now, that is exactly what Basehor Linwood has done each and every game that they have been out there.
Well, they're just the best team in this district right now, and it's not even close. And I guess this is the perfect time to reflect on the senior class, which has won over 75% of their games. And I'm sure if you take away that freshman year, it jumps up over 90 and probably over 95%. So a great senior class. Steve Hopkins, the head coach for this Basehor Linwood Bobcat team, just could not say enough good things before the game. He was gushing about them, especially about Jesse Hiss and the Murphys and players such as like those guys. So
he said players that really changed the mentality of this team.
Yeah, coming in, this wasn't exactly a team you expected to. They came in third place in their division, right? And they were high-fiving each other. Now, if they don't go undefeated this regular season, people are going to be disappointed, and that's quite a culture change.
Colorado League championships are expected, and they've won the last 3 of them, so it's been good for them. Shotgun formation, handoff will go right side, full head of steam across, hit at the line of scrimmage, falls forward, gain of 3 yards. Alex Jackson in on the tackle.
You know you're a successful senior class if you've completely changed the culture of your school's football program. This is now a powerhouse here in the Kaw Valley. Technically, it's still this Kaw Valley. This is a team that is feared by other schools, and I know it was not that situation, and it was not that way when these kids were all freshmen. So I think that is perhaps the greatest compliment you could say to a group of seniors as they played their last game, potentially here at Keister Field.
Ford will keep it and tries to cut across the 30 and turn the corner, and he does. He's just shy of the first down marker, though. But yeah, you got to mention, I think if you take a look at these 22 guys that have come in here and have really changed the culture, and there's nothing more, no better word that really sums it up than leaders.
Yeah, for sure. They're all leaders. Ryan, the Murphys. What would they do without the Murphys? I mean, Zach Howell stepped in, done a good job, but it's nothing that Colin Murphy has been able to do all season long. Ryan Murphy kind of had a bit of a down year by his standards, if you think about it.
Shotgun formation once again as the defense goes offside, so it'll be a 5-yard penalty, and it'll move it forward 5 more yards.
But you want to talk about leader. Think about Jesse Hiss. He's playing with a torn tendon in one of his legs. Put on a heck of a defensive performance against Mill Valley. Steve Hopkins was saying basically on one leg, and he was the best defensive player out there. I mean, if that's not leadership, I don't know what it is. We've seen him out here in bits and spots throughout this game. Obviously, they did not need him too much, but he does have a touchdown. And again, that's on one leg.
Shotgun formation, handoff will go right side. Full head of steam trying to get past the corner, and he does. Gain of 2 or 3 yards.
Of course, Mellies has been a force on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, you just go up and down this list of seniors. Skylar Ross, he's transformed into one of the better running backs on this team, a team that has Drew Potter and Jesse Hiss on it, 2 very high-quality running backs. Of course, Riley Trowbridge, great defensive player who's been solid all year long, makes a ton of tackles. You just can't say enough about this senior class.
Handoff will go right up the middle, and he might have enough for the first down as he's kind of just thrown down on his back in a kind of a cartwheel tackle. 6:55 left to go, 4th quarter of play, 42-point lead for the home team in the Basehor Linwood Bobcats. They really put their foot on the gas early and never let up.
Well, when you get that defensive touchdown, you mentioned it earlier, the defense scored before the offense did, which is just unheard of for this Bobcat team, and that sort of set them going in the right direction.
Shotgun formation, 2 receivers, top of your screen, 1 to the near. Ford got to pitch it left side across the 10 and dives to the 9-yard line on first down.
Even the second stringers are doing a pretty good job of reading the option. They're there. It's 2-on-2 football right there. The one man had the quarterback, the other man had the running back. Forced the pitch and then made the tackle. Good job.
So it'll be 2nd and 7 after the 3-yard gain on the pitch. Ford will come out shotgun formation. They've had a little bit more success with this than the triple option that they've run. Handoff will go near side. It'll be snuffed out in the back, and I believe Skylar Ross was in on the tackle. Skylar Ross came from the left side. Correction, it's Dan Engel, actually. Came from the left side. Clock continuing to tick. 3rd and 8. Ball on the 12-yard line. This is the closest the Chieftains have been to the end zone all day long. Sends a man in motion. Handoff will go up the middle. Maybe gains a yard.
Again on the carry.
Defense chant going through the grandstands here. Bobcat fans wanting a stop, wanting that shutout. This is about as close as they come. 4th and 6, 4 down linemen for the Bobcats. 5:06 left to go, 17 seconds left to go on the game clock. Gonna throw into the end zone, and the play was blown dead.
The play was blown dead.
As we had an offsides, I believe, on the offensive unit.
Yeah, false start right there on the offense. They'll push them back to a 4th and 11. Again, an offense that isn't built to pick up a ton of yards. So even a game like this, the defense holds a lot of pride if they can pitch a shutout. Even back when they played Bishop Ward, 60-0, you still got to feel good that you pitched that shutout. You did all the right things all throughout the game to keep the other team out of the end zone, which is the ultimate goal in the game of football.
There we go. Shotgun formation. Ford going to drop back. Wants to throw. Hit as he throws. And big hit by Dalton Enlow, the sophomore who came from the left side part of the field.
He was dangerously close to a pass interference penalty right there. He got there pretty darn early, but I guess what you can say is that Dalton Enlow timed it perfectly knocking that ball away. Great hit, reading the play all the way, and the defense holds. Bend but do not break. They still got their shutout.
So it'll be a turnover on down. It'll be interesting to see if we still see Zach Hevel out there.
Yeah, there he goes.
Yep, there he goes. I was expecting maybe to see Tim Sanders, possibly, as he has seen sometimes, a sophomore quarterback. 0 for 5 on completions, though, is Sanders. So with under 5 minutes left to go, Basehor really has a chance to move that clock down and end this game early. 4:48 left to go on the clock. 1st and 10, ball at the Chieftain or at the Bobcat 15-yard line. I formation set. Hevel going to pitch near side. Going to throw it across the 20, up to the 25. Hit and brought down.
And Dan Engel. We saw him a little bit there on defense, knocking some passes away. Now he's getting his opportunity as a running back, and they're still attacking that left side of the offensive line. They really do think that's where their strength is, or really that's where the weakness of where Tonganoxie's defense is.
So a gain of 1 on the play. It'll be 2nd and 1. Ball on the 24-yard line. Bobcats break the huddle and sort things out. Clock continuing to tick. Play clock down at 15 seconds. They're going to use every little bit of time they can to make sure that this game ends about as quick as possible.
Yeah, and we all appreciate that.
I formation set. Handoff near side. Engel across the 30 to the 33. Before he's pushed out of bounds. Correction, he stayed inbound, so the clock will continue to take a second. The chains are reset. Will be enough for a Bobcat first down after the carry. So the clock starts once again, and so will the play clock. Bobcats going with a no huddle, just kind of standing around and letting time tick. Tick, 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 tick.
Yeah, they've got the play. They're just standing there. 10 seconds down the play clock. They're in no hurry whatsoever.
Hevel goes under center. 5 seconds left on the play clock. Misdirection handoff. Fake. Hevel keeps it across the 35 to the 37 and brought down.
I'm not sure if that was supposed to be a misdirection or if it was supposed to be a quarterback keeper, but it looks a lot like it was perhaps a broken play. Good job by Zach Hevel to get a little something out of nothing right there. Nice 5-yard pickup. Maybe they'll call it 3. Oh, I was correct. It was actually 5-yard pickup. So good heads-up play right there by Zach Hevel.
Again, if you're still with us, thank you. We enjoy you tuning into 810varsity.com. Basehor up 42-0 over Tonganoxie, and this one really was never close. Colin Murphy, though, if you're wondering why he's not in the game, he actually was injured in the second quarter of play. We haven't seen him. We have seen him walk around, and he looks to be walking with a little bit of a limp, but just taking a little bit more of a precautionary standpoint now.
Yeah, good decision. Remember back at Lansing, he went down with a cramp issue, and then he was thrown right back into the game. Ended up scoring a touchdown, but as he scored that touchdown, he went back down again. So this is the right decision. You and I have already talked about tonight about how the playoffs are what matters for this Basehor Linwood team. No matter what, even though it is senior night, you got to make sure that the players are healthy and ready to go as the season begins to wind down and we head into the real meat in the schedule, which is the playoffs.
15 seconds left to go on the play clock. Hevel just kind of standing over his offensive line. Everyone very lackadaisical. 2:15 left to go on the clock. The snap going to be taken. Full head of steam as he just kind of falls down at the line of scrimmage. So it'll be 4th and 6. Dan Engel on the carry. Basehor needs a first down here if they want to keep that clock moving.
Well, they're going to punt it away, it would appear. Tongi doesn't quite realize it, but there they go. They're finally sending someone back.
They're sending 2 people back deep. Standing right at about the 34-yard line. Pump formation for the Bobcats. 2-1 left on the play clock. High pump, punt is up and away, and it's a low one. It'll bounce at the 49-yard line, and that is
nice
where the Chieftains will take it.
Nice catch by Garrett Cayley there on the sideline. Kicker showing off his hands.
Surprised we didn't see Ben Johnson punt, who lately has been one of the better punters in the Cowboy League.
22-yard punt for Tyler Hart.
Fans now just starting to file out a little bit. They got what they came for. Another convincing Basehor Linwood Bobcat victory. It is also starting to get a little bit chilly out there, so I don't blame the fans. But it is senior night. They have honored their seniors. Great crowd as per usual. And I would imagine this is not the last game, though, here at Keister Field. With the record that Basehor Linwood has put up this season, I think they have earned yet another home playoff game.
Shotgun formation for the Chieftains. They'll run it right up in the middle and almost gets into the secondary, but a
Great
big
tackle.
hit by number 34 and Colton Stevens. Big hit.
There is a flag on the play, which stops the clock, unfortunately.
Basehor came into this game 7-0, and it's not a fluke by any means. None of their games have been close.
Absolutely not. And let's be honest, I don't believe the quality of their opponents has been quite up to par. But you know what? That's what good teams do.
You play the teams that are on your schedule, and that's all you can do.
No, they have absolutely blown out all the teams they played, except for, of course, the Turner Golden Bears. But, again, good teams blow out bad teams, and that's what Baseor's done.
And the thing is, you know, for a team like Basehor, the Call Valley League is such a large league, 8 or 9 teams. You do have to play everybody, and that is essentially what they've done. It's been a league opponent every week.
And, you know what, these teams know each other. So the fact that these teams know each other so well and they're still able to go and blow them out, I think is, in fact, a testament to this Bobcat team.
You can credit Corey McCleary in on the carry, the sophomore, as we are now mostly down to the second and third string guys in there that are finding some time.
Flag on the play.
Flag on the play as we are under a minute left with 59 seconds left to go here in this one. Basehor looks to be moving to 8-0 on the year. And they were impressive here today. They started in the first quarter of play. It happened on a fumble recovery. And you know what? They threw 3 interceptions, which is very uncharacteristic for this team. But they made the most of their possessions that they did have.
They did, and of course they scored with 10 seconds into the game even. But very efficient as per usual. You mentioned the turnovers. 2 interceptions by Colin Murphy. Just some bad plays. I mean, one of them, Ryan Murphy had the catch. He made the catch, and then the DB just took the ball right away from him. And then the second one, sort of a recurring theme, throwing on the run, tipped pass intended for Ben Johnson, got picked off. Again, something he's going to have to work on in practice, if he is able to practice. Again, we don't know the status of Colin Murphy, but this is sort of the worst, perhaps the sloppiest game they played all year, and they're still going to win by 42.
So here come the Chieftains once again as they do a draw play right up the middle, and it maybe gets them 5 yards. Big thing about that, though, to bring up second down, about 14.
10:30, 11 o'clock tomorrow on your cable channel 6.
Under 30 seconds left to go. Shotgun formation, misdirection, handoff is forward again, wrapped up in the backfield and sacked. And with that, that might just about do it here from Keister Field as we are under 22 seconds left to go. The play clock with 25 seconds. There is a flag on the play.
No flag.
Correction, no flag. So the clock will start once again. Under 20 seconds, 19. Play clock just now starting. Under 10 seconds, looks like Tonganoxie is going to run one more play. 7 seconds left to go on the game clock. Can they get a play off? Send a man in motion. 3 seconds left to go at the snap. Run play right up the middle, and it goes for a loss. So with that, Basehor ends this game on a positive note. Bobcats are winner here today. They win it 42-0 over the visitors from Tonganoxie. Nothing but positives to say about this Bobcat offense.
Well, they dominated them. It's sort of what we expected coming into the game. This is a Tonganoxie team that came into the game on a 6-game losing streak. We've talked about the issues that they had, especially at the top of the program with their head coach. Basehor Linwood came into this game with a mission. They had to blow out, let's be honest, they had to blow this team out, especially coming into this game with the 6-game losing streak. They came in, took care of business. On to the next one. Pardon me. Setting up a big game against Perry Compton. Should be a very good game, but I'm sure the Bobcats will be prepared. I think really the story of the game will be what will Colin Murphy's health be when that game rolls around next Thursday, pardon me.
There were fireworks on the field with touchdowns and interceptions all over, and there were fireworks after the game. Bobcats won it, though, 42-0. They moved to 8-1 on the year, or 8-0 on the year. A big date with Perry Compton is next week, less than a week ago. They play on a Thursday night. You can catch that game right here on 810varsity.com. For Tonganoxie, they fall to 1-7 on the year, and maybe better luck next week against a struggling Jefferson West team. For Jonas Nordman, my name is Aaron Berlin as we say goodnight here on 810varsity.com. Bobcats a winner, 42-0.